whole big time dream. I'm how to buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Printer running hot at full speed every day. Multicolor layers stacking my way. Lego scattered on the ground. Country boy tech with a plastic sound. When I'm not printing, I'm flying my drone up in the sky where I feel at home. I'm a drone nerd, yeah, I roam around, buzzing through the fields with that freedom sound. Ventilation blowing straight into my mic. Can't read the chat, but I'm feeling alright. Maybe someday I'll slow it down, catch every comment from this little town. I'm out of Lou and I'm a rock star. Live in that basement boulevard. Market guy in Swedish forge in the dark, lighting up the stream like a neon bar. Subscribing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit that button, keep the dream alive. I'm out of Lou, I'm a rock star. Yeah, I know I miss a comment line. Scrolling too fast, but I'm trying to shine. From America to wherever you are, we're building this channel like a brand new car. Filament dreams and a drone in the sky. Basement king and I don't know why, but every single stream feels right. Clap your hands if you love 3D. Clap your hands if you're nerd like me. Slippers on and a printer hum. Basement life, but we're number one. Hey, hey, yeah, we're number one. I'm out of Lou and I'm a rock star. Printer.
Hey there, welcome back, guys. We are live. Had to cut the song out before we move forward because there's like a copyright on it because of some glitches with YouTube. But I see we do have to center off the video a bit, which is we'll work on later on. But right now we are live. We're going to do a 5-2-1-5. But so far so good with the audio. So we're going to be building a Tessla coil, which is great. We got one here. Every year they upgrade the kit. It's like Moore's law. It will get smaller. It will get better. It will get faster and more reliable, if that makes any sense. Like we have 4 different versions of these, and each version just gets better with the parts and experience, and you learn that moving forward as we compare the differences once it's built together. You'll need a power source between 12 volts and 24 volts max. That's it. That's the cutoff. There's a link in the description of all the other stuff. It sounds like someone's peeing. I'm gonna shut that off. Not shut it off, that's actually the sump pump. So what we'll have to do is, where was that? Yo, I didn't hear no bells. Let's go to bummer. Live. Let me see if live chat works. When we multi-stream, we can see all the chats, but I see there's a chat there. Let me go and see. Let's go to the video. One moment, please. I'm just gonna close this window here. Again, you can follow along by the parts, pause the video, you know, whatever works right for you, but it's going to be a fun experiment. Let me just go. Most likely the chats are in portrait mode because YouTube prioritizes the scroller. So there's nothing wrong with doom scrolling, but when it comes to the chat, Gabby AQ4, hi. I'm just going to bust out the chat window and pop it out so that we can see it. Steve Bano, hey, what's up? Oh wow, he's working on a sculpt. What are you working on? We love sculpting. What are you working on? Working on. Oh, I forgot my keyboard's right here. Let's see. And Gabby, let's say hello to Gabby. Hi, I might have to get a rag in a little bit, but let me show you what the Tessla coil is. It's really cool. We do soldering tutorials to help people level up if they want to build a drone. We've built drones. We have how-to tutorials on how to build a drone, little FPVs, other FPVs too. But a kit like this costs $6, right? And if you're going to build your drone, it's going to cost a couple $100, and you do not want to, let me shut this sound off, blow up your flight controller and everything else that comes with it. So that's why we have these soldering tutorials. But I might have to run out for a second, one to get a rag since the sump pump is dripping, and I think to shut that thing off, because once that thing kicks in, it's game over. Okay, all right, so I'll show you how the Tessla coil works. It's really cool. It just emits an electromagnetic field that allows you to test light bulbs, light things up. You know, it's just a fun little gimmick or science experiment. If you have a science, if you ever want to do a science experiment in your school, you can build a Tessla coil and just have a little power supply like this right here. Let me go here. Let me just move myself over a little bit so that, whoops, let me just click undo there. Looks like we got power. So this kit's a little bit different because they added bigger LED lights to it. But if you look here, oh nice, and the plasma thing went off, which is awesome. All right, so if I go to Samsung stuff, and then I don't need this one to be on since now we have our chat. And then now watch this, check it out. See, this is a regular light bulb. Alexa, turn off camera lights.
Okay.
See, and then if I shut these lights off, Alexa, turn off blue lights.
Okay.
Whoops, gotta be careful there. And then if I shut off, oh yeah, camera lights went off. So you see, check it out. See, nothing with, and then we have little LEDs. They comes with little LED kits, right? Like you can just light up the LEDs. You can test the LEDs that come with the kit that we're going to be building. And this is really cool because this is just a regular light bulb. I have a regular bulb. That's a sump pump somewhere around here. That's in a box. Alexa, turn on camera lights.
Okay.
So, well, here we go. This one's really cool because this is the one that I use in the lights. Oh, look, Steve Bano, 5874. I like making copper bars by melting old pennies because it's illegal. It's funny that melting the silver coins isn't illegal. I didn't even know that. I know the writing on the bill is illegal, but I didn't know that pennies were illegal to melt. Well, copper is expensive, though. It's amazing how 1 cent is only worth 1 cent when someone can come to your house and steal your gutters and get more. Right? Isn't that wild? Yeah, let's see what we have here. This way. And you can also hear music from it. To activate the little plasma kit, little coil, you just touch it with a piece of metal. See? I don't know if you can see that. And you can also hear music from it. And you can also hear the dripping in the background. But as we solder, we don't want that happening. Now, you don't want to touch this by hand. Originally, it comes with tape around it. But I took the tape off because I wanted to make the coil longer. So don't touch it because you'll feel the heat. But what you can do is we'll try and see if we can put more tape around this by taking it apart again. Might have to solder it, but I just want to show you one working one, and then we'll deconstruct one in the end. That's really cool. I've seen people do other stuff with pennies too, where they tile the floor with them, and then they put epoxy resin over the floor, and then you got yourself a cool floor. Or some other stuff I've seen. I've seen copper sculptures with pennies too, where they actually take the pennies and they make, Alexa, turn on studio lights.
Okay.
They take the pennies and then they, make like a little sculpture thingy out of it. It's just really cool. Oh man, that was connected to the one-shot miner, but that's okay. We make these videos so you don't have to. Because I'm 12. Oh, that's cool. Welcome to the channel. Is this for kids? Yes, this is for kids. We're kid friendly. We have contests here. If you want to take part in a contest, you just have to have your mom or dad contact me directly, and we have to confirm they're your parents because we do like winnings of some of the stuff that we're sent. But yeah, totally kid friendly. 12. My kids are 12, and they do stuff like this, but it all depends. Every kid is different. So my kids actually did a Tessla coil for their science fair. So if you want to, hold on, Alexa, turn on blue lights. If you want to do something like that, just follow along. The links are in the description. But if you want to contact me, you can't. You can only contact me through your parents since you are underage. Knowing that, and moving forward, let's have some fun. I gotta turn off that thing over there because I just gotta get a rag and then I jam it into the drainage of the sump pump, and then you won't hear. You hear that? Sounds like somebody's peeing. And then, because this is a really good mic, this is the kind of mic that they use for voiceovers, and so it picks up everything, like literally. So let me just get something. One sec. So what I do is I take a rag, you hear that? And then hopefully it doesn't fall off. Oh wow, the door. Oh, and we also do 3D printing. So we have 3D print of the week. My kids love 3D printing. So like if you have a, if you're, you know, I don't know what your family's budget's like, but have them buy you a 3D printer, and every week we do 3D print of the week, and you can print your own stuff. A lot of the kids in the town like have 3D printers too. It's not anything special anymore. It's kind of like equivalent to having a Nintendo. Actually, it's cheaper to buy a 3D printer than it is to buy the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch costs about $500, $600, and all the new games with the Nintendo Switch 2 are subscription based. Now, don't get me wrong, you might spend $100 or $200 on a 3D printer, and then your parents are going to wind up spending more money on the filament. It's like buying a what do they call it? A printer, and then having to pay for the subscription of ink cartridges. But if you plan it right in the beginning, when you get a 3D printer, once you get it out of your system, you know, you're just printing leisurely, not over working everything. All right, let me put this in so we could shut that off and then start soldering. Ah, I see. Sweet. Well, now that we took care of that, see, you don't hear it anymore. All right, so we're going to lay the parts out. Again, the link's in the description. And I think this is kid-friendly, too. I think when I was 12 or 13, I built my own power supply. So, you know, it all depends on your how comfortable you are with accidentally getting burnt or, you know, dealing with equipment like this. So, you know, just check with your parents, that's all. And if you win the contest, you got to check with your parents too, because that's the only way you'll get your winnings. All right, so knowing that and moving forward, here go our parts right here. Yeah, it looks pretty good like that, right? We have to test the parts. As you can see, we got our clone right there. It doesn't come, oh yeah, because that's my power source. And I believe that's it. Sweet. See, no, you no longer hear the drip. So there's tape around this, as you can see. And inside there is an extension of the coil. One is usually longer and one is shorter. Where are the lights? So we can see, because we don't need to shut the lights off now, but I will, I think, shut one light off in a second once so we can see what's happening down here. Alexa, turn off camera lights.
Okay.
So I might look a little dim, but at least now you can, you know, there's no more brightness shining over here. And this is how this studio was originally lit until we were sent. We do a lot of collaborations. A lot of this stuff gets sent to us from other companies. They're like, hey, we'll send you this. And then we were able to change the lights in our room. And so the lights over me are actually the Lamari lights. They're okay. They're Alexa voice control. Oops, I said her name. She might be listening. Voice controlled, but I like that part of it, but I don't like the fact, like, sometimes I'll come in here in the morning and the lights are on. I didn't touch them. I did nothing. And so you have to pull that out like that, and then choose the longest side to be the top and then the shortest side to be the bottom, because you'll have to do it. And then don't take the tape off. You can take the tape off, but you make sure you put the tape back on, because if you touch the Tessla coil, you will burn yourself. Yeah, so I'm not crazy about the lights in that sense, because turns out everybody who has these lights walk into the room, or they'll be watching TV, and the lights will start flickering or flashing, or the ambient light will be on. But we got free lights in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got a light over me, a light over the 3D printer, a light over the other 3D printer, and another light behind me, which is called on air. I wonder how that one will work out. Alexa, turn on air.
Got it.
Let me see how that one looks. Nah, I don't like it. Alexa, turn off on air.
Got it.
And then that'll be good for when the let's see, me stuff, for when the basement floods, and then I need to see what's happening in here and bring in the dry vacs. It does flood in here, unfortunately. It's just not that time of the year. Sorry, but gotta go. That's okay, Gabby. This isn't for everyone. Best of luck to you. Thank you for stopping by. Every little bit goes a long way, because it counts as a view, you know. Sweet. All right. Let's see. So that we have here. So this time the coil is black. This wire, sorry, is black, and before it was red on the original version. Not this one, because this is a newer kit. I just have to fix it before I give it to my kid. Let's see. So we have the resistors we have to check. And then, you know, we'll see how that works out. Hopefully they sent us the right parts, but I have a little book. So before we start soldering, again, you got to test the parts, because sometimes they'll send you parts and they don't fit. All right, cool. And then, oh wow, that's one of the LEDs. Oh, but this is a test LED, so that's fine. See how like bent it is? A little bit of a bummer. All right, sweet. So that one goes there. This goes here, and then we have our. We don't need the bag anymore. You just throw it on the floor, or just make sure there's nothing in it before you throw it out. Because sometimes, whether it's this kit or another kit, they have additional parts. This is a capacitor. The short side is the negative side, and then this is another kind of capacitor. And then this, you can hear music from it too, through the plasma coil. And these are transistors. This is a double-sided tape thingy to hold up the coil. These are just little screws. We should have a total of 6 screws, 4 for the base, and then 2 for each transistor. And you see the difference between this kit and the older kit is that this kit has 2 LEDs. One is blue and one is red. And the original kit only had 2 little itty bitty bitty LEDs, which is phenomenal. And then the other kit had didn't come with this. You had to use double-sided tape or sticky glue to make it work. Here, I'll show you the original one. The original Tessla coil from like 4 years ago and 3 years ago and maybe 2 years ago. As you can see, the capacitors were still the same, except they gave us a little bit more of a robust capacitor since more power was running through. So they got bigger on the capacitor, different resistors. I'm not sure if these two are the same. We can compare, but definitely the LEDs. See that? They went more robust, and they changed the configuration here, and they took away the resistor, which was helping the LEDs a little bit, right? But apparently not needed anymore. So as you can see, similar to Moore's law, things just get smaller, less parts, but still more robust, which is really cool. Oh, I forgot to cut these wires, but we'll probably do it on this one, but you don't need to because it has the stand underneath it. It's so cool that, and then this can't touch. So sometimes when you put it away or manhandle it, this will move and bend, so you have to be careful there. So we'll put that one there. Oh, maybe put it back since it will be away for a long time. And the next year, we'll get another one and see how they changed it. So we got to test the parts. This is for a fan, so you can attach a fan to it. But again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, bummer. So as you can see, we have, oh, I thought we had a screw missing. We have all, just double check the parts. These transistors have to go into their own spot. So you need to make sure that, you know, the numbers match to where they go on the board. All right, this one's a really easy one because it's short, maybe an hour or so to build. But before you build it, you want to make sure. So we'll just say goodbye to Gabby. Is this for kids? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. Thanks for STO stopping by. All right, and then hopefully Steve Bano. Remember the Hulk? Like he always changed his name. The last name is like David Beaning, David Janin. You know, like it was always like something synonymous to Bannon. And instead we have Steve Bannon. And he always he was a doctor, but he always had these weird jobs working as a janitor because it was like nobody cared who the janitor was. You know, it was the one way to remain low key. But then he always wound up, you know, people are like, well, you're pretty smart. How'd you learn how to do that? But that was one of my favorite shows growing up. You guys watch the Hulk? The old Hulk. I don't recall the new Hulk. Him. So yeah, so we have here. So let's measure the parts. Hopefully Steve's still here. But anyway, thank you both for stopping by. Swedish Forge is usually here with us. But he's not. That song that you saw in the beginning, Swedish Forge wrote that. He wrote that, and I don't know how the fuck he made that song, but it's phenomenal. Like, he, not that I'm gonna be doing it, but once he gets all the kinks out and figures it out, who knows, maybe he will share the secret with us. But that's kind of cool. We have a viewer/subscriber, Swedish Forge, who made that song that you see in our intro. I had to stop the song before it reached the end because it's copywritten. Not really copywritten, but the bots. So when you throw a video up on YouTube, the AI bots check stuff. So I had to put in a copyright claim saying that it's not from a Bollywood movie. It's mine. And then he wrote the song, which is crazy. It's actually from Contact. And so, but the AI bots see it as Bollywood. But it's all AI. You can no longer, so this is correct. The transistor is fine, as you can see. Ah, fuck. This happened the last time. See, we lost a wire. Damn it. I think I have these around somewhere, though. I don't know, I have to look around and see. But either way, it doesn't matter. Because if it keeps getting shorter and shorter, I'm gonna have to anyway, we'll fix it. Damn it. Well, it just makes the stream a little bit longer, right? Because all this happened in real time. So if this happened while I was recording, so this one's fine. It would just, I'd have to stop recording, and then once it was fixed, press record again. All right, let's see. So now I gotta strip this wire like that. This has nothing to do with the Tessla coil, but I definitely need a new wire cutter. Anyone have a good wire cutter, send it in the link or share the name. I did get offer to do a collaboration for this wire cutter company that makes, all they make is wire cutters, but I turned them down. Oh man, because sometimes they're scams. Like a lot of the stuff I get sent, I'm like, just send it. And then they're like, oh no, you have to log in and then select something from one of our selections, and then we will send it to you. And then I just say like, nope, I don't work that way. We do not do collaborations that require the user experience for me to log in and confirm my YouTube account. You found my YouTube account, so there you have it. You liked my YouTube account because you contacted me wanting to do a collaboration, and now you want me to log into your site with my credentials. Yeah, right. Fool me once, right? Fool me twice. It's not happening again. I almost fell for that, but not anymore. Now I don't do any collaborations. If someone wants to send me stuff, they have to just send it. You know, you want to do an affiliate program? Fine. I have an Amazon account. Find me. You want to pay me? Oh, you can pay me. Bob pays me for stuff. Bob is one of our viewers / subscribers. He actually pays for some of the stuff that gets sent to us. He just pays the shipping fee, and that's it. So you see, it can be done, and that's the only way it will be done moving forward until someone comes up with a better way to do collaborations, because there are these new scams now where they want to collaborate with the YouTuber, and they hijack their account, which is a bummer. I have a couple of videos that show you about that experience, how I got scammed or how other people get scammed. And now every time I get solicited for an offer, I just make a video on it. But yeah, all half the stuff behind me has been sent to me without having to log in. So that's just, you know, the proof is in the pudding that you don't need me to log in to send me your stuff. It's just a bummer because some of the stuff is really cool. I can share with you some of the other stuff in a bit, what I've been offered. I thought I heard a ding, but remember YouTube, I have to log into, I have to check out another video. YouTube does not, oh hey Bob, we were just talking about you, I can see. So YouTube is prioritizing the landscape mode. What's up, Bob? I sent you your package. Did you get it? I was just telling everyone how you pay for the shipping via super chat, so you don't have to log in to collaborate with me. And all these other scammers, you know, do that. This one's going to be a little bit tricky because I have to melt the solder. Thanks. Hey Muddy Squash, nice to see you. Thanks. Great having you. Soldering iron 721. And sweet, got it. Now when a piece of wire broke off, I gotta fix this. Where's my thingy? Is right here. We're making a Tessla coil, Bob. You might like this. And all you got to do is pay for the shipping. Except I don't have a power supply, so you'd have to get a power supply. And I would send you the other one. We'd show you it working like all the time. Bob's living proof that you can get stuff you see on the channel. I just have to get my helping hands. That I will not send to you. My helping hands. But they did offer to do another collaboration, and I said yes. So they were going to send another one of these, but so far silence. Sometimes when a new person goes into the position of the person that was working there before, and they just like get access to all the collaborators, then they start soliciting them again, and then they're like, oh, I see you did that. And that could be why they didn't send another one of these things, because they had another one that they were going to send, but it didn't work out. It would have been cool though, because then we would have given it away. But instead, we'll be giving away a Tessla coil. So let me know if you want it. So this has to be going in the wire like that. See? Going in here like this from backwards. It's a bummer that it broke. But now we have to, now that that did that, we have to twist the wires, right? And then put this here. See, we melted that before. That's why I don't mind getting another one. But and then we take our solder. It's a bummer because we lost time on this testing one part, but it actually broke. Not because of me. Sometimes it's happened a couple of times on here. And then I don't know if you saw. Sweet. Now the wire's tinned, which is great. Where's my? Oh, it's right here. Great having you, Bob. It's just us tonight. Swedish Forge is probably writing. I wonder if that's what he does. Like, I know it's 3D printing is a hobby. Maybe he's like a music producer of some sort abroad, right? I mean, abroad meaning overseas, not a guy in a dress, but because he's from Sweden. Like, I wonder if that's, you know, because that song is just freaking amazing. I might play it again so that you can see. Are you still? Let me know if you're still there, Bob. I'll play it. Play it again, Sam. And then by then, hopefully, this part is done. So you can see he wrote a song, and for the channel, and now it's our new intro. So when the show starts, the music starts, and I just added it. And I didn't even ask for it. I wasn't like, yo, can you write me a song? No, he says like, Lou, I have a song for you. And I thought he was just joking. I thought I thought he was gonna do something like a Weird Al Yankovic kind of thing, like a parody song. But it was a freaking legitimate song, and I was like, oh my god, like it, and it goes well for the time, because the other song I had on the channel, it was good, but given the times, they might send the bomb to my house, because given that the context of the music wasn't really ideal for the times we're in today. But the Swedish Forges is just phenomenal. We got to wait for the soldering iron to get to Muddy Squash. Bob. Lots of people on Etsy sell 3D prints. Yeah, they do, right? Yeah, I wouldn't go there for STL files, though, to be honest with you. Damn it, I messed up. Something is wrong. Not really wrong, but ow, that's hot. Aside from it being hot, yeah, I would. They're only. I don't know how people sell their 3D prints on Etsy though. There must be Patreons, not a Pepion, but a Patreon, because I tried selling them and. So you're able to ship every... no. I was able to ship everything that you saw put into the box on the live stream. I wasn't able to ship that coin thingy that big one. Because remember, if you remember on the live stream, I said anything that will fit in the box. And that big thing did not fit in the box because it's a full... You can't scale down, which scale means make smaller, a coin holding machine, unless you're like Steve Bannon, who actually melts the coins, pennies, US currency, into sculpting parts. So that being said, if we scaled it down to make it smaller to fit into the box, you wouldn't be able to put quarters in there. You wouldn't be able to put nothing in there, because because the currency, a quarter will always be a quarter unless you are again Steve Bannon or whatever his name, where you will melt the US currency down. So that being said, I'm sure this is not the last time you and I are in touch or being shipped something. So, find something else in the meantime that can be scaled, and we'll make it work for you. Yay, we fixed it. Now we're back in business, sort of. I have extra wires like these somewhere. I have to look and see You ever have stuff and then you don't know where they are? All right, so we measured this one here. I'll pay separate for the shipping then. Yeah, but I don't know what's that gonna cost, to be honest. I don't mind printing it, but it's pretty big and it's not gonna fit into a regular box. So find something else in the meantime. Yeah, it's gonna cost you like 20, 25, or you know, I don't know. I have to go to the post office and see. I have to get, because remember, it's fitting coins. It's like a big coin thingy. Send me the file again, so that I think I downloaded it. Here, actually, I'll show you. Give me a second. Let me just measure the parts and then I'll show you. So this one's measured, and then you'll see how huge it is. It barely fits on the print bed. You know, that's the other thing. It'll still fit on mine. It reminds me of the Connect 4. I printed for my kids. They love it. It's huge, but I don't see it. It's gonna need a big box. Oh yeah, I'll actually show you how it prints on the build plate. You'll see how much real estate it takes up, and then you'll see why you'll need a big box. And then apparently those flat rate boxes, they charge by dimension and size, unfortunately. Well, dimension is the size. Weight, which is a bummer for you. Test in progress. Yes, sweet, that one works. But I'll show you how it looks on the build plate. Looks really cool. And when I saw it, I was like, Bob, were you listening to me when I said scale down? It's got to fit into the box where your stuff was shipped. And then we'll measure the capacitor. But he said he'll pay separately tonight for the shipping, which is fine. But just make it worth your while. Or it might be cheaper to buy it on Etsy. Like, find something fun that we can print. Bob's probably like the kind of guy that reminds me of me when I was younger. I had in my room, oh nice, there's the capacitor, a water bottle jug. I would go to the supermarket and look for a water bottle jug just so I can fill it with quarters, all the change from like the end of the week, and I had to fill it up. I never made it full though. But it is, you do build up a lot of money when you save your quarters and pennies inside a water bottle. I can tell you that much. I did it. In the beginning, it's like it's taken forever. The black side's negative. Okay, we're measuring the capacitor. Okay. It's a 1 UF. And then the other one's a 1 UF too, I believe, but it's a different kind. But 40 plus 105. I think the other one is too. And then we'll measure this one. That one is a 1 UF too. I shut it off. This one should measure differently though. Test in progress. And then hopefully this one is a 997 NF and 6% loss. So it's a 1 UF 50 volt, and then we have that's all we got, 105. Interesting. Well, it says 105. Yeah, it does. It says 105 centigrade, but that's just the temperature, not the capacitance. So 997 rounded off, and you get a 1. So it's confusing because they're both measured the same one, but they're both different capacitors. So you have to make sure that you put them in the correct place, since they both, like, wait, they have the same numbers. Here's an LED. The short side's the negative side, remember that? And then the red side's the positive side, and then when we press it, we should get a flash. We should get a flash on the, you see it shut off because I took too long. But if we hold it like this, and then now turn it on again, that's okay. Listen, if it fits on the print bed and you pay for the shipping, it doesn't matter how big it is. See, look, the LED identifies as a capacitor. So let's try it again. It should be flashing. Shouldn't even be doing that, which is a bummer. And check the wires. See how this one came off? Could be the wiring. It should flash, like it should be sending us a bolt of lightning. But as you can see, it's not closing. Oh, I see now. Okay. Hopefully now it'll work. Great. Let's try it again. Yeah. Whoops. And the black part came off. That's fine though. At least it's not broken like it was. Like it did, you know? Okay. Now, let's try it again. So yeah, the LED, that's why you got to measure the parts. I don't know why the LED identifies as a capacitor. Looks like electronics aren't the only thing confused. See, it should light up. It should give like a flash. See, and again, it's probably gonna, so it says damaged, which is a bummer. It shouldn't be damaged though. Let's try the other one. Hopefully not. We can use my other meter and then see what happens. See, check your wires. Let's try the green. Green, it doesn't matter with the color because they're both connected to the same part. Could put it on diode and see what happens, but the last, oh, see, there we go. Yay, it's working now. So it's probably the red connection. Let's try it again. The red wire, which is a bummer, or sometimes, you know, using another port causes it, the magic to happen. So that's what you want to see though. This is like a little retro kit though. So see, now it saw itself as a diode. I see now it's not. It's not identifying as anything. See, it says unknown and damaged. So let's try another port because this has to work. Let's see. Try it again. Test and see, there's no flashing. Damn it. Damaged. Damaged good. Let's try it again. And to know if it's the port or not, just take it out, switch it. And if it works, then you know it's either the port or the wire. Negative is always going to be at the bottom, so I'm not worried about that. But I want to see what happens if I put the red where the green was and the green where the red was, and then hopefully we'll know if it's the red wire or the port because we switched it. See? Yay, it works. So it's the port. As you can see, I'm using the red wire. Okay? And it measures as a diode. I took it off too soon, but see? That's how what it's supposed to be. Why? I don't know. Maybe it needs something, but this is how it measures the diode. Whoops. See? Oh, down. It's measuring capacitance. Hold on. I'll show you. The long side is positive and the short side is negative. And then when you measure it, right, if we go here, you'll see it flash and we should get it. See, it's flashing. That means it's good. And then even though it said test in progress, see, that's the diode symbol. Okay. The part with the slash is a negative, which is number 3. So it tells you like port the number 2 and number 3. It tells you what number you're using when it comes to where the cable is. But see, number 2. Anyway. And then now we know that that one's good. I'm not sure if the other one will light up, but we'll see. Because this is a blue one, different color. I can't remember. But it should work. And now measure it again. Oh, nice. See, and the blue is for the plasma, which is really cool. They really went out of the way this time and put a lot of thought into making the Tesla kit. And then these, as you can tell, the resistors are not labeled, so you need to measure just one. I mean, you do need to measure both, but you do need to measure them so that you can just label them so that we know they're going into the right place. So I think one's a 2K or 1K or 10K. So this one will be measured as a 10K. So we got two 10Ks. You still have to measure them because if you recall, we built something a couple of weeks ago, a calculator, and the resistors were wrong, and I had to use one from one of our other kits. 10K, pretty cool, measuring exactly the way we want it to. And then take a pencil or pen, whatever rocks your boat. I'm a pencil guy. I love pencils. I'm a big fan of pencils. Someone once gave me Mont Blanc pens and I sold them. Not sold them, I did sell them, but not for what they were worth. And I bought pencils. I don't like pens. This is 10K. Okay. Yeah, but I wish I had known what they were worth because I didn't get a fraction of what they were worth for it. But you live and learn. Anyway, on that note, these are 10K. See, we just wrote on pencil. And I still have the videos of them. I just need to make a video of the Mont Blanc pens. How to tell if they're Mont Blanc pens. And so you don't get ripped off while selling them. Alright, now see, it shut off. Maybe it needs to be charged. See? Damaged. Oh no. Test in progress. When it shuts off, you're always going to get damaged. This is a 2K. I'll have to read everything and make sure 2K is part of the experience. Thought it was 1K, but that's okay. That's okay about the Ks. So this is a 2K, and we'll see what that one measures. Test in progress. And this one should measure 2K. Oh wow, 1.9. So you just round it off. 1.98, round it off to 2. We don't need to mark these since we don't have a bundle of them. We just know these are 2K. And then we check on the board, right? And we see that we have a 10K and a 2K. Perfect. And then two different transistors. But let's see what Bob says. Remember, Swedish. If Bob, are you still there? I want to play the song for you. Hey, what's up, Mud Squash? Mud Squash. We don't have any Sasquatch on the channel. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. In mail. I didn't think it was going to be that big. My bad. No, don't worry about it. It's not your bad. You know, it's hard to tell, especially when I got the Marios. I put some dry decks on their feet, and then you can just sand them. It's weird. The older version of the Creality High Print, it gave you a nice depth and perception of what you were going to be printing. Now the aspect to build plate ratio is just way off. So it's really hard to gauge now the size thing. They upgraded it where they upgraded the software, whereas now when you put anything on the print bed, it looks like it's not going to fit. It looks like it's too big. It's hard to gauge the size, whereas before it was kind of true to size. Now I hate it because of that. They keep updating it like every couple of weeks, as you notice. But no, it's not your bad. It's their bad. They changed the software. All right, so all the parts fit. I mean, all the parts work. We measured them. Now we're just going to take some flux and put flux on the board because flux will help melt solder. Like just creates that experience, like the Matrix effect when Neo put his hand in the mirror, and it went bloop. Well, that's what the flux does, and that's what solder does too. Like if you're melting a part together and it's not melting, add more solder and the solder is guaranteed to melt, you know. Knowing that and moving forward, as you can see, we're just going to apply flux in all the areas to the joints that will be soldered on the board, so we can get that bloop experience. In here I wouldn't worry too much about it. I have a starter kit, but I never use it. A starter kit for what? Like for soldering? Or you don't need to put solder on these parts though. You might need painter's tape though. Painter's tape will help with the process to hold parts together on the board. I think we can do, we know that these are the 2K since the other ones are the 10K. Okay, so we got 2K resistors. So 2K, so there's one 2K. Remember the Y2K? The Y2K bug, and then another 2K. And then mostly you don't do it like that though. Usually what you want to do is like this. Bend one end and bend the other end, right? And then pop it in into its hold. See? Bob. And then, and I'll do the same thing with the other one. Bend one end and bend one end. And then remember we're doing the 2Ks, okay? And then sometimes painter's tape helps to help stop the parts from moving. What did Bob say? Solder kit. Oh, that's so cool. Then you'll love this. Then I don't have to send you mine. It's only because this one's cheap. If you click on the link in the description, this one's like cheaper than the shipping cost. It's like $6, and if you have Amazon Prime, they will ship it for free. So yeah, do the Prime kit. You'll love this one though. This is cool, except this one may be a little bit more if you don't have, we're doing 10Ks now. If you don't have a, what do they call it? Power source. You don't have, because you'll have to buy a power source. But this is cool because once you buy a power source, you'll use it for other stuff too, other soldering builds. Like, because next time, our next build, now that we're done with this, is going to be a radio, FM AM radio. And so, you know, I would do this first and then the radio, because the radio is a little expensive. Or even the calculator. The calculator's cheaper too. I don't know how they make money on these things. They're so cheap, right? And they sell them for, like how much does it cost to actually make these things? See? And then we have our, and you have the meter now, Bob, right? So now you can just level up. So now I got to find the 10K hole, R4 10K. Yeah, you should, Bob. You got the meter, you got a soldering test kit. Have fun, you know, like really cool. And maybe hopefully you'll see now these are in. Right, so now the reason why I need tape, I mean, sometimes you don't need tape, but because there are so many parts, so many resistors I just put on there, when you move, see they move too. So that's why the painter's tape, and the painter's tape is really cheap. It's like $1 or something. And I've been using the same roll for like freaking 4 years now. So the painter's tape comes because this is a dedicated roll, not for painting but for our soldering videos. So now the other tricky part is getting these things in there. See, now I can play with them and bend the wires so that I have room for my soldering iron. We're starting low and then working our way up. And then of course I'm ready, but my soldering iron isn't ready. Remember, this is a oh hey Ken, oh my god, Ken's here. Ken, welcome back. Ken has been busy. Ken, we talk about you the last few weeks. We're building a Tessla coil. I'm going to solder these joints. Ken must be taking a break tonight, but Ken has been busy burning the midnight oil, working hard every night. And he's got a break, and instead of going to bed, he chose to come hang with us. Thank you, Ken. I'll show you how Tessla coil works if we can get some power. Got a thermal runaway error. Hopefully this doesn't happen throughout the whole live stream, but that's okay. We got another power source right here just in case. I'll sit high. Sit high. Then the girls were watching Upstairs Being Erin Brockovich. That was our Saturday night movie. But then I had to cut it short. I was like, you guys got to go to bed. I have a live show coming on soon. Because, you know how it is when the kids don't go to sleep. And it takes them an hour to settle in. So even though they went upstairs at 10, one's going to read in bed for like an hour. And then Tilly's going to, I don't know what she's going to do in her room for the next hour. But so they're going to do what they're going to do. So if they went to bed at 11, then that means they're going to bed until 12. This is taking a little bit too long. But we're waiting for this to heat up to 7 something. Ken, I'll show you the Tessla coil once we solder these parts in. I just wish it wasn't. It is dedicated. It's connected to a dedicated power source, not sauce, but source. We love sauce though. I like sauce with my pasta, but the sauce that's giving me power is giving me thermal runways. All right, knowing that, moving forward, I'm gonna turn the fan on because I don't want to be breathing in these foams. All right. And then now, you should just tap it. See, and then it works. And then tap the other one. See, and then it works. Might have put too much on that one, but we could take it off. It's fine. A few more. Great. Well, we got that. And you don't want to spend time camping on your parts. Camping just means you're sitting too long on the soldering joint, and things just get ruined. Well, nice that this pliers is magnetized. See? And then, since it's actually time for a new solder head, but it is what it is. I can tap it. See? And then sort of like flatten them out a little bit. See, that's usually you shouldn't have to do it like this, but and then I can just trim them again. Take all those scraps right here. Yeah, so and then snip, 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 and snip. Sweet. Alright, so here's how the Tessla coil works, Ken. Take a power source, and then you turn it on. I'm going to use 24 because 24 gives us full power. 12 works fine too, between 12 and 24. And you take the original Tessla coil. I had it somewhere. That's weird. It was here a second ago. Oh, it's right in front of me. Like that. And then you get your power cord. It doesn't come with this though, so unfortunately. But if you get to put there, everything's a link in the description. You can get your own power source. And then now, don't touch the coil because I took the tape off. But even if you didn't, it's hot at the bottom. So the blue is for the plasma and the red's for power. And to activate the plasma, you can take a tweezer or a screwdriver and then tap it. See? And music will come out of here. But what's really cool, right, is that if you take the electromagnetic field it generates is enough to test your bulbs. So Ken, you got a lot of light bulbs to test, right? See? And it just, this, you can test, or LEDs. It comes with, well, let's test the LEDs it came with. Maybe not these LEDs, not diodes. You know why I won't do a diode? Because a diode has a positive and a negative. But a regular bulb, it'll illuminate, Illuminati. And then if we find, I had one here earlier, a light bulb in a box. Damn it. Not what you, oh yeah, here it is. So here's a regular light bulb. These are the lights I use outside the house, the LEDs, right? See? You can test your bulbs. And you can build one with your kids for their science fair. So that's what we're building. We tested all the parts. I took the tape off this one, so the coil is hot. I don't recommend taking the tape off unless you know what you're doing. If you've coiled something like that before, or if you're daring, just take it off the top, and then we'll see how this one works if we tape it back. I have the tape here, but see, regular tape. But looks prettier with the tape that they use, though. Because see, that has a nice shine and gleam to it. But it is what it is, and you know, we're gonna make do with what we got. Knowing that, moving forward, we shall continue. Wow, isn't that cool? You like that, huh, Ken? Since Bob hasn't claimed it yet, do you want one? We can send you one to your house when we get you and bring you back your snow shovel. What was the, oh, here it is. I was like, where's the one I was just building? So now we got our resistors in. All right, now I think we can go a little bit higher. See how I like to start low and then work it up. We have our capacitor here. There are two different kinds of capacitors. So we have this one, and then we have that one, and they each go into their own place. So one capacitor, this capacitor, right, goes in here in the middle of the board. And they have names. I should know the names, but honestly I don't. I call them old school capacitors because they like to remind me of the ones that the old tube TVs had in them. So in the parts list, that qualifies as, it goes in C2. Monolithic, yeah, kind of like a monolithic dinosaur. So the monolithic capacitor goes into the C2. And then the electrolytic capacitor, cholic, whatever it's called, I can't read it, I don't have my glasses on. Electrolytic capacitor goes, it's bigger, so electrolytic capacitor goes into the C1, right? And it tells you which one's positive and negative, but we're not going to put it in because look, not yet, because it's too high. See that? And we want to go like a graph, start low and work our way up so that the parts go in. Except for this, we might be able to put in these two parts at the same time. This is a connector thingy for the fan. Doesn't matter which side's positive or negative, because it just goes in one way and then you would plug in the fan through there. So for this, we could recycle the tape, put the tape here, make sure it holds, right? Just push it in. This one's doing pretty good. This one I think will hold on its own. We'll find out in a bit. So as you can see, like that. And sometimes you could use a little piece of something to make it even, as long as, because that sump pump, it's flat, and as long as when you turn it over, it doesn't look like it'll hold on its own. So the only thing that needed tape was the fan connector thingy. And then nice, this one's at 400, so which means that we'll be up and running in no time. All right, Ken's got claims on the next Tessla coil. It will be yours. And Ken's definitely got a power source. Ken's got more power sources than me. power source or power sauce. He probably has a power sauce too that he puts on his steak. Ken's like me, loves a good steak. Then we just gotta wait for it. There was a funny video someone sent me of I think Dan sent it to me, of a bull, and then someone cooking the bull, turning the bull into a steak, because the bull, I don't know, it's a little political. We don't do politics on here, but anyway, if we did, I'd be able to share it. But anyway, yay, we got one. And then we just got to get the other one. Just turn it over. And then we just got to get the connections. I love me a juicy steak. Oh, okay, then I'll share with you what my friend Dan sent me. Hold on 1 second. I love steak. We don't eat meat that much though, because it doesn't sit with me. But when we do, I like to make on the grill outside a nice flank steak. Marinate it for like a day, right? And then after it's marinated, then cook it on the grill. And the best part about cooking it on the grill is that you don't have to clean the kitchen, and you just leave it on the grill. And then when the weather's nice, you just turn the grill up really high, and everything just cooks right off. You know, everything that, all that grease and everything. But a flank steak's really good. Hard to come by, but there's a place in town. I remember it was like, I think it was like $10 or $15. I went to this place in town, in Ken's town, right, where Ken lives. I was like, oh wow, it looks really cool. I'll go in there and buy me a steak for dinner. And then I go in, the Omaha steak place. You know where that is, Ken? And I go in, and I'm like, hi, just wondering if you guys have anything freshly cut. It's like, they're all freshly cut. Oh, no, what do you mean? And they're all frozen. I mean, something that doesn't have to thaw tonight when I go home. And like, yeah, we have these right here. And they're already like, some of them are pre-seasoned. I was like, oh wow, it's really nice. I'll take one of those. And then I took one, and as soon as it came to the counter, it was like $300 or $400. And I was like, hell no. I was like, what am I getting? This is like a steak. I thought it was like, what does it come with? You guys gonna cook it for me? So I put it back. And when I went to Trader Joe's, because there's no way in hell I'm paying $200 for an Omaha steak. I remember when I worked in an office, we used to send those Wine Country gift baskets, and I think it was Omaha steaks to our best customer. Even though I'd like to treat myself like the best customer, there's no way in hell I'm spending $200 on a steak. My family would kill me. You did what? And then it'd be gone in like 30 seconds. Because a lot of times when we cook the steak, my wife is like, where'd all the meat go? I'm like, it shrunk while I was cooking it. You know, because the meat, when it's really hot, it just gets smaller. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. When I actually ate it as I was cooking it, because I was like, this is really good. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have one more. And I'm like, this is really okay. I'm just gonna do one more, and then everybody will have the rest. And I'm like, this is really good. And then one more, and then by the time it's one more, yeah, we'll wind up ordering a pizza because there's no more steak left, or we have to make an extra side of something because Daddy ate it all. So this one's a little bit. So then this one's the next one up, the headphone jack. Because remember, you could hear music from the Tessla Coil too. This is cool, Ken. Your kids might like this. Try to find yourself a Mexican butcher shop. We love empanadas. I went sometimes. Oh man, this is somewhat straight, but at least it still works. I like empanadas, and whenever I go into the city, my kids ask me to bring back empanadas, and I usually do, but usually I'll feed myself first, and then, you know, I like to eat But then I'll bring it all home. Bring home theirs, and they're like, "Hey, Dad, do you want some?" I'm like, "No, it's fine. I ate already." Because it's so good. And there's a place in the city that we used to go to, that had Mexican food. Well, they still do, because I passed it when I was there the last time. But they had amazing chicken. Because I like the chicken when the flavor is inside. I don't like when you have chicken that tastes good and the flavor is only on the skin. Anyway, this place called Pollo, La Pollo, whatever it's called. It's on 34th Street. You could probably Google it, and if you speak Spanish, you probably spell it correctly and have a better chance of finding it than me doing it right now. Anyway, it's called Pollo, and their food is just amazing. Their meats are well marinated because the flavor is inside too. It's not just on the skin. I mean, the kind of stuff that will give you a heart attack, but sometimes I feel like it's worth it. Only because it's like high in the sodiums, you know? Oh, Ken, are you still there? Let me know, because I'll let you and Bob share the next experience that was sent to us from Swedish Forge. Let me turn the fan on first, though. Swedish Forge wrote a song for us. And I thought, when he said he was going to write a song, I thought it was just going to be a parody. Turned out to be something more than a parody. That I used it for our intro now. We'll just have to stop the intro before the ending until the copyright part gets lifted. Because I don't know, they see the ending space part of the video. It has a Bollywood movie. But it's not Bollywood. Anyway, I will share our new intro sound. I made the video I made, but the song Swedish Forge wrote, and I don't know how the fuck he found the country singer, but I'm pretty sure it's AI. It's not Conway Twitty or Kenny Rogers, but it is an amazing audio that will go onto the channel once it gets lifted. So here, check this out. Okay, it's not Kenny Loggins either. Here we go.
My name's How to Buy Lou, that's what they call me online. Everything that glitches, yeah, that channel's mine. Got filaments spinning in the middle of the night. Multicolor magic in the printer's light. Lego on the floor and slippers on my feet. In my little basement where the air hums to the beat. Alexa turns the lights off when I say goodnight, but I'm still wide awake watching layers stack just right. Layer by layer, watch it come alive. Plastic dreams keeping this country boy high. Hear that motor singing like a late night bar in a basement room. I'm a backyard star. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Basement stage, but I'm dreaming digging far. Blue plaid night shirt, sweatpants, guitar. Yeah, I'm building my fame from a filament jar. Market gas, Swedish Forge, front row every night. Glowing in the comments like a neon light. On YouTube, we're riding the stream. Small town channel, big time dream. I'm How to Buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Printer running hot at full speed every day. Multicolor layers stacking my way. Lego scattered on the ground. Country boy tech with a plastic sound. When I'm not printing, I'm flying my drone up in the sky where I feel at home. I'm a drone nerd, yeah, I roam around, buzzing through the fields with that freedom sound. Ventilation blowing straight into my mic. Can't read the chat, but I'm feeling alright. Maybe someday I'll slow it down. Catch every comment from this little town. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Live in that basement boulevard. Market guy and Swedish Forge in the dark. Lighting up the stream like a neon bar. I'm trying to shine. From America to wherever you are, we're building it chill like a brand new car. Filament dreams and a drone in the sky. Basement king and I don't know why, but every single stream feels right. Clap your hands if you love 3D. Clap your hands if you're nerd like me. Slippers on and a printer hum. Basement life, but we're number one. Hey, hey, yeah, we're number one. I'm out of Balu and I'm a rock star. Printer glow like a lucky star. Blue plastic.
Kind of neat, huh? That is so cool. Great, isn't it cool? Like I didn't even ask him to do the song, and I was like blown away when I heard it. There were a couple versions of the song, but that was the one that I like. I think he's working on another one, but there's really no need to. Well, we have a couple of intros, so you know, we'll probably use one of them on the other video. The one with the garden. I don't know if you've seen the one with the garden. Yeah, he wrote the song, and I don't know, he probably used some AI generator, but isn't it AI is going to be putting freaking everybody out of business? You know, like it'll be the end of production, like the Warner Brothers, something music. It's over. Like that song. It's not like he had a recording studio, but it's recording studio worthy. Where, in what, 2 years, you don't need to have a sound. What do they call it? Pro Tools expert. To be your audio engineer on your production. I know, isn't it cool? But it's crazy. That means you, not just me, anybody can make music, right? And record label it. Think about it. Except you would just, the only trouble you would have is like, and fees you'd run into is like copywriting your stuff. But if it makes money, do it. It's not for me because I find music production hard, especially with audio and stuff, but it's fun. But we have our song now. That's our intro right there. So you'll be seeing that one, and I'm going to choose one for A Beautiful Day at the Beach, or maybe we'll just have two versions, you know? One with what we saw, and then another one with A Beautiful Day at the Beach, that video that we normally saw, but with the new song. The hot soldering iron hasn't gotten hot enough yet. But look, we're almost done. We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more pieces to solder. And then we have 99. See, it just has to get at its rightful temperature. You like that, right, Ken? I don't even know. As long as I know Ken, I don't even know what kind of music he likes. Like, not everybody likes country. But you don't have to like country. That's a really cool song. It's like channel worthy. We got the thumbs up from Ken. Let's go to cut. Oops, that one went flying. But that's okay. While the soldering iron's still hot, you can get some of these parts that didn't have that matrix effect where it went bloop I just burned my hand. It's alright though. Better me than the parts. Damn. Yeah, that's why I was saying to the kid earlier. I think it was Gabby. Like, she's like, is this a kid-friendly channel? Yeah, we're kid-friendly, but if you're going to build your own something, you got to get prepared to get burnt. Yeah, so we'll put this here. Anyway, so that takes care of that for the headphone jack. Because remember, you can hear music through the plasma. And then now, let's put in the power source. See, we start low and then we work our way higher. We could always reuse, whoops, I was going to say reuse the same tape. Yeah, no, you can't really use a Band-Aid, Ken, with soldering iron burns. Because I should be using the sponge though. I should have wet the sponge. I'll be cleaning off the tip, but I'm not. Hey, let me wet the sponge. But good call. Though I'm gonna wet the sponge for the, for the thing that just burnt me. But it helps to clean off the soldering iron. Close the door. Oh, and that's how I'm going to end the video too. I'll send you the link to the full video, Ken, because Ken's probably the only one who could see it. The full link, because it's blacklisted because of the ending. I'll send it to Bob. Could probably see it too. It's been banned globally, all because of the ending. Because they see it. I'll share with you. They see it as a Bollywood movie. It's not Bollywood. If you've seen Contact, you know that that's the beginning. It's not like the olden days where people would QA, quality control, what you put on YouTube. Now the quality control is done by bots, and apparently the bots are catching things and they should not be catching, and labeling them as yeah. Oh, get the skin off the soldering iron. Yeah, yeah. Ken's right. I gotta get the smells like an Ed Gein movie in here. Literally. All right. Let's see. So now we're gonna solder the power source, and I wonder where Swedish Forge is tonight. You know, see, sometimes he loves coming on when the show's live, but I have not. Ken's the one who actually told us to schedule the streams, and then I stopped, and then he asked for it last week. He probably didn't bother looking because, honestly, Ken, I've been so busy that I have not been scheduling. And then when I do schedule the streams, like last week, I couldn't because the kids didn't go to bed when they were supposed to, so I had to bump it back. You know, and then now we got lucky because today, I think next week, my wife said if I can do it at 10:30, so the girls could stay up later. I'm like, sure. The problem is not them staying up late. The problem is when they stay up late and then they have these meltdowns when it's time to go to bed. They're like, oh, I don't want to go to bed. I want to watch another movie. And I can't have that. Like, if they just freaking didn't behave the way they did, I'd be, you know, be like, fine, good night, I'll see you when I see you. But it don't work like that in this house. So, I gotta send them to bed before the show must go on. I just saw your newest video. It looks like a drone. What's it called? We have a couple. There are some on the wall. Some of them are, let me turn the fan off. I'll show you. Excuse me. Some of the drones are, well, all the drones in the video are built, but the ones behind us I believe, I'm not sure because it's been a while, to be honest with you, but one is probably hold on. So one is definitely one of the Pavos, this one we built. And then another one, this one reason why we do these soldering tutorials is because it's expensive if you blow one of these things up, like I have in the past. I'll share, like when we blew up a flight controller, you can literally lose hundreds of dollars. Thankfully for us, we only lose that much because I was doing it separately, and we blew up the flight controller, which was, and I think this part was in the video too. This part right here is about, if you blow, oh, you can't see. If you, this was a $70 or $80 part that I accidentally blew up. Whoa! So that was one drone we built. But now I have a how-to tutorial on how not to do that. So that one was probably one of the Pavo series that we see here. And then a couple of the videos, there's the Avata. Avata is a DJI drone. DJI is not this one. This is a Pavo 25, I believe. These are harder to fly. They require training. I mean, I'm good, but not that good because you'll never see me. I'll fly the Pavos inside, but not these. And then you have, these are them. Hold on. This one is the Avata 2. This one you have more control over, but DJI is leaving the US. So I plan to sell all my drones by the end of summer. There's just one more, unless something changes, there's just one more place I want to fly before I get rid of the Mavic 4 Pro. And hopefully another company. I don't really care who comes out with the next latest and greatest drone, as long as it works and it does, you know, what these drones did. I'm fine. I'm not like, oh, it's Skydio, the enemy. I don't care. If it works, I'm happy. You know, as long as they're not like made by slave labor. Yeah, so that's what those drones are. And now back to our show. Glad you liked the video though. So cool. We got comments. So Swedish Forge, they like your stuff. I don't know how he did that. I don't know how the fuck AI is able to write country music or any kind of music. Isn't that wild? All right, so now these transistors that we measured are different. We have BD243C. Okay, we're almost done. A few more parts. So this has to go here in that part, see? And then this one, they absorb the heat. So if you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. They've got you covered. And this one is this one's hard to see even with the magnifying glass. Oh, I see, you got to tilt it. 80NF70. And then now that one goes in there, but in order to put it in, you have to put this thing like that, right? So we'll still do the first one and then put the screw in. The only downside is that the screw, we'll use the old cheap Nintendo screwdriver. The screw, as long as it doesn't strip it, that's not a good one, goes in on the opposite side. So you want to make sure that you have the right screwdriver. The red one we broke trying to take supports off a 3D print. So I'm like short of screwdriver until I order another one. See, the screw goes on the inside, and then, damn it, see, that's the hardest part. I thought I had a magnetic. You could put the screw through here. So yeah, so I think, honestly, I don't remember what, oh, and then one of the other drones is definitely a Mini 4 Pro. From back in the day, the one where you saw the drone links. I don't know if you've heard of drone links. Drone links is the software you use to program your drones so that you can do waypoints and stuff like that. So there's like a little clip. I remember the Mini 4. It was a cool drone. I liked it until what happened was the reason why I started going big with the drones, bigger, was because I think I went to Terrytown. I went to fly by the water, and I couldn't fly. I was like, damn, because the Mini 3 and Mini 4 Pro couldn't handle the wind. And so I just drove back home, and I was like, wow, I wish I had a bigger drone. I have a bigger one that's out there. And, you know, then one thing led to the other. You know, I like the big ones because they can handle the wind, and you can go further too because you can see the drone. You can keep it within visual line of sight. 80NF. So I just want to make sure that that's the right one, because we're gonna have to flip it upside down. See, and then we have 2 screws here. Remember, the heat sink absorbs the heat, because this will get hot. So you got to be careful not to let the wire touch the heat sink, otherwise you know, your experience will be cut short with your Tessla coil. I wonder if this one's magnetized. No, not really. So the hardest part is putting these things on. You know? Yay! And once we get one on, we can do the other. See? It's just a screwdriver head. I didn't put it on because it doesn't have to be super tight. So now that's like that. Should be able to move it. Bob sent an email. Just watched intro. You said they blacklisted it. Blacklisted what? Blacklisted what? I can't remember what I said. Oh yeah, they blacklisted the video. Yeah. I'll send it to you after we solder these things on. Hold on, let me get a piece of painter's tape. Wonder. Yeah, YouTube. I'll share with you the whole experience. So the video ends in space, like, you know, a YouTube channel that's out of this world, or something like that. The country, I can't do country, but and the AI bots of YouTube blacklisted it, and they called the ending. It fell into the copyright area of, apparently it belongs to a Bollywood movie. Some guy in Bollywood. If it was Bollywood, you've had like 100 me dancing in the video, like, you know, because you never have like one person in a video. In a Bollywood movie, there's usually like 100, right? They all like have an entourage. So anyway, YouTube saw it. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't use Magladon Dons, whatever the fuck they called it, video clip. But it's not Malidanis Bandendon video, whatever, I can't even pronounce it. Anyway, but that didn't matter. So I had to put in a claim and be like, yo, that's not Maladandandon. This video, that's mine. It's from Contact. And then Maladuni, whatever it's called, Magladine, the Dode Abdudi, has the option to appeal it. And if Maladini does not, well, I don't know how to pronounce it, doesn't appeal it within 30 days, the video gets released, and then that's our new intro. And they won't, because it's a long story. But anyway, I have to show you, and then you'll understand better. But the wild part is that YouTube, back in the day, they had a person do it. A person was paid to check every upload. Upload came on, they would watch it and then see if it was. Now they have AI scrubbing it, which sucks because, as you can see, AI did a really bad job, because they did not do the job correctly. They labeled it as a Bollywood movie. We're in Bollywood. No, 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 no. No swimming, no lifeguard on duty. So it sucks. But I just gotta wait 30 days, so it's not like I just throw it up. And if Swedish Forge like writes a different song and I like it, I'm like, oh my god, I like this one better than the other one, I could put it up. But now I gotta wait 60 days for the appeal. It wasn't like that before. Before it was, I think, for 15 days or 7 days. It was shorter. It was like only a couple days. And then now they made it 30 days. 30-day appeal process. But they blocked it globally, which is insane. So that's where that stands. It sucks, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do. But I'm at the waiting game of the AI bots. At least it's not the crying game. Remember the crying game? That movie was crazy. But I felt sad because what's the temperature? Oh man, thermal runway. I knew something was up because it was not heating up. I got like a thermal runway error. I was like, no. You know that something's wrong if you're camping on your parts. I was like, I should not be camping on this soldering part. Like I should have, like right now I'm camping on it, and that's because it hasn't reached the right temperature because the temperature dropped. It should be 7 something. Bob said he emailed us. Thermal runway again. I emailed the company about this. They're like, something's wrong with your power supply. Something's wrong with my power. It's just like the frickin' thing is just not working. Thankfully, we only got a few more parts to solder. I'm definitely going to check this and see which power source it's connected to. But sometimes if we plug it out, plug it in, or just plug it out and use the other power source that we use for the Tessla coil. I don't remember, probably 12 volts. Alexa, how many volts is required to use the pencil soldering iron? What's the max?
For most pencil soldering irons, you'll typically need 12 to 24 volts.
Okay.
The max voltage varies by model, but many professional units can handle up to 24 volts for precise temperature control.
24. Oh, it says it on the side because I don't want to blow it up, you know. This is a really good one, and it's expensive. I do have another one lying around somewhere. See, it's not melting it. Yay, we got it. Sort of. If it doesn't melt, sometimes more solder will help melt the solder, but it's not melting. We've got a thermal runway. So well, if it's not melting, remember, more solder helps melt the solder, right? And see? And also flux does the same thing too. So if it's not melting, remember Bob, because Bob hasn't opened up his kit yet, it just means the temperature may not be right, needs flux, or more solder. Or sometimes both work well, more solder and flux. But in this case, let me just make sure this is the right part in the right hole, because as you've seen in the past, it is hard to get these out, especially transistors, because they got 3 wires on there. I mean, 3, you know, 3, it's like a 3 holes. Not like the chip though. Remember the chip I had to remove? Those are harder, removing the chip and the chip holder, whatever it's called. So now we'll just use, Bob, remember painter's tape. Great. So now I think it could use more flux, because we lost some along the way. Once I put these on, I'll share with you guys the video sanction I got from YouTube. But they'll lift it. It's not the first time it happens. I learned my lesson the hard way. Put this here. Once this is done, remember, more solder helps melt solder. 784. Wow, it's holding the temperature. You got one. Got two. Good thing that it's a heat sink, which means that it can handle the heat. It can take the heat and stay out of the kitchen. Great, we got the heat sinks on, and now I'll share with you my sanction. No, you cannot use that video. All right, so let's see. New here. What are you building? We are building. Hold on. We are building a Tessla coil. Whoops. Here, I'll let him see. We gotta let him see because we got a new viewer slash possible subscriber. We do soldering videos to help you level up your soldering skills. Maybe you studied electronics back in the day. Maybe you did something fun, or maybe you feel inspired to build, or maybe you want to build your own drone. And you know, we help you with these kits. These kits are like $6, really cheap, and you can level up your game by not spending a lot of money and blowing your shit up. As long as you can find the parts necessary to give you the power that you need. And it's fun, you know. Everyone should have should know how to solder stuff. Sometimes it's cheaper to fix everything in your house yourself than have the contractor come do it. So this is gonna, whoops, ow, fuck, I burned myself. Yeah, that Tessla coil is hot. Don't keep anything flammable nearby, because it will burn. So now with the Tessla coil plugged in, this little plasma thing, it's really cool. Like you can drag something next to it like that. See, like to see the power. But you can test out light bulbs because of the electromagnetic field. See that? Isn't that cool? And this is the regular light bulb. Any light bulb will work. And then, you know, and you can hear music from it too. We'll do the music part in the end. Music comes from you can plug in the sound into the audio jack. So let's go to the next part though, since the guys are waiting for my sanction. All right, let's see. Proton mail. Was it Proton? No, it wasn't Proton. They sent it to my other email account, my inbox. I don't know if it got lifted though. Nah, it's not lifted. Okay, so here we go. Samsung Me. So usually when you upload something to YouTube, it says your video is ready. Here it says video is blocked. See? Yamagola Mali Madalani movie. And it says the owner of the content is Telugu video, blocked globally. So I gotta wait for them to lift that, and then I can dispute it, which I did. Telugu Mali Yamagala, and then if I see the details, right? See, monetized, no. Visibility, it looks like they lifted one part of it, but you'll know when the sanctions are lifted when this part here, there's no longer a take action. I can't take action now because you only do one action at a time. And I can learn more about why it wasn't monetized. Learn about content ID claims. A content ID claim is automatically generated when an uploaded video matches another video or segment of a video when you use content ID, but it doesn't. It's just the AI bots caught around. So they lifted the visibility. Before, the visibility was like this. See, the visibility was blocked globally. Now they lifted the visibility because I guess Magladani hasn't said anything yet. And then, like, if they do it in baby steps, and then if he doesn't say anything within the next week again, then you can monetize on the video. And then if we learn more, we already added the tracks, but if we see details, see, cannot be monetized. This claim doesn't affect your video. What you can do, see, you submitted a dispute and it's currently under review. Viewing restrictions and or monetization associated with the disputed claims are suspended until your dispute is resolved. The claimant, meaning like Magladani, Magladon, is required to respond to your dispute within 30 days. Now they won't, because let's go to the original video and I'll share with you why. Let's go to, I wonder if I compress it. Go here. Then we'll go back to the Magladami. We'll scrub to the end. The ending is just like a picture of the galaxy going out, and we'll stop it right there so we don't get a copyright claim on our live stream, and then we have to wait 30 days for it to be lifted. So if we go here and if we type in Magladani movie, the graphics don't compare. But it's amazing how the AI bots it's how to by Lou. I'm surprised they're not claiming that it's me impersonating him. So here's Magladani. Really cool though. A lot of pretty Indian girls in the movies, but see, that space scene is they're mistaking it for a Magladani movie. But I was always a big fan. I remember when I was growing up, I liked the Indian music videos when the woman would sing, you know, and then like there'd be 20 guys dancing around her, kind of like in the movie Grease, but except it's kind of like Bollywood style. But other than that, it sucks that the AI bots are like no one's doing it anymore manually. So you're at the mercy of AI. I agree. We lost our losing our tech skills. Yeah, so have fun with the channel. You know, like we are losing our tech skills, especially with AI taking over. And you can no longer be the weekend mechanic like back in the day when I was young. Not that I'm still old, but you could buy a car and fix it yourself on a Saturday. Good luck doing that now. Now you can't be the weekend mechanic, you know, like you can't, because you open up the freaking car hood and it's like sealed shut. You need like a special screwdriver just to get the cover off, you know, which is a bummer. Back in the day, you could lift the hood and take a part out, right, and then go to the AutoZone store and you know, have your car fixed by the end of the weekend and tell your friends about it. Now it's like a hobby, unless you have to buy an older car to do it, or even to build stuff like this, which is really cool, because now you should look at getting your amateur radios. I have my GMRS license. I'm studying for the ham radio license. It's really hard. It's like I just want to use the radio, but so much technicality in it. I have the GMRS radio that actually converts into a ham radio, but as you know, you can't turn on your ham radio without your ham radio license. And there's a ham radio club in town that I joined, but I haven't gone back there, and those guys really know their stuff, and they help you prepare for the exam. So we have red LED and blue LED. This one's blue, and it's nice. Oh wow, interesting. Well, this one tells you which one's plus and which one's negative, which is fine, and the short part of the LED is the negative part, but it doesn't have any of the symbols on there like they do, which you see, like it just has plus and negative. And back in the day, on the board, it would look like, I wonder if they put it on here. Oh yeah, it would look like this on the board. That part's the negative with the slash. But they didn't do that on there. And sometimes they put a square. So each board is different. Well, do you have your ham radios license? Your amateur license? And if you know how to use the towers, you know, like then you can pretty much, I can help you. It's not bad. If you do this, you can be a ham. My license is NY. Oh wow, that's so cool. NY9Y. I'll have to copy that down and put it down. Yeah, so let me see if I have the cheat codes here, so I can show you the radio that I have. Mine is Whiskey Sierra Delta Victor 295. I forgot what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to be like doing a sound check, or you're supposed to announce what you're doing and then continue talking. See, it's been so long that I can't remember. But sometimes I would turn mine on. I do want to do another video on how to put the airplane frequencies in there, and you can hear the planes. I do want to do a video on that, on, you know, the whatchamacallit, listening to the airlines. And you can, though, because I have them programmed into another one. But that's so cool. Thanks for your handle. I will definitely test it out when I go to the ham radio club in town. Hold on one second. DJI. I know I have it. I made a video on it too. And I should know this. That's why I can't get my ham radio's license. I can't remember which freaking buttons to press to even get my GMRS radio to convert into a ham radio. Alexa, what buttons do you press to convert the GMRS radio to a ham radio?
To convert your GRS radio to ham mode, press and hold the atomic HM/RV and FW keys while turning on the radio. These are the 3 round buttons on the left side.
No, that's not how you do it. Hold on. Never mind.
No worries. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
No, I don't. I thank you, though. We have someone here. We have big...
Sounds good. Have a great
that's fine. Goodbye. Yeah, we have Big Irv here. Maybe Irv can figure her out before I do. I wrote it down in here. I should have written it, and I should just put it at the top, like on a title, like right there, so you can see. It's really cool, you know. Time lapse, hyperlapse. Good thing we're not in the apocalypse right now, because they'd be like, Lou, you're taking too long. We're gonna die. We just want to communicate and get help so we can radio and use the ham radio towers. 1 moment, please. Operator, hello. How may I help you? This is when the cell towers go down. I think when the apocalypse comes, if it ever does, hopefully not in my lifetime, you're not going to need your ham radio license. That's another reason why I'm not worried about it, because like when the time does come to use a ham radio, you're not going to need anybody's permission to use any tower. You're just going to be, it's going to be free for all. It's going to be every man for himself. That's another reason why I haven't done it. All right, so let's see. TID radio factory reset. Hold down top button and the star button. This is all I can do. Hold down top button, start button, and only because in order to put it into, see, I have ham, GMRS, and normal. Isn't that cool? And this, and when I told the guys about this at the ham radio club, They're like, no, you can't do that. That's not possible. They don't do that. Because they have all these, they're the older guys. They're like 70, 80 years old. Half of them are retired. And they don't even know that this exists because they got these, you know, they have these big ham radios and the towers that they're using. And, you know, and they were able to connect this. And they showed me how they connected it to their tower. And then I was able to hear them. It was really cool. And then I didn't go back. Because, you know, their ham radio club is on Sundays or Fridays, and those are the days I spend with the family. So that's it. And then they say that, and if you want to put the ham radio on, you have to have your ham license. So that's why I'm only GMRS right now.
Welcome.
You see? And then you can be like, Whiskey Bravo Delta Victor 295, and then, you know, then it's supposed to say, I forget what you're supposed to say. I should know this because I have a video on it. But as you can see, it's been that long since I've used it, so I need a refresher. In an emergency, use what you have to save your life. Yeah, exactly. In an emergency, then I could be like, yo, he doesn't have his ham radio license. And I already have like the towers I want to ping if there is an emergency. I already have one set up and saved, so that it does work and it does have. But then again, hopefully that tower is working. They'd be like, save yourself. So yeah, I know, but it's fun though because I've used it with the kids. I've used it when droning because the signal, you know, holds. Used because I'll have my kids as a spotter at the end of the street. Back in the day when I was using it, and then the only thing I wasn't crazy about is that the batteries died, but I love listening to the airlines on it, the planes. I'm not sure if this is the one that's programmed, but I have. He says I'm old. Low. That radio is local VHF UHF communications. When you're on GMRS, you use GMRS license. Yeah, I have my GMRS license. This is so cool though, and you know, I just wish. And I just wish I had somebody to talk to. Let's see. So we have our frequencies here, but as you can see, sometimes you'll get some other people talking on the channel, and I like to listen, but I don't. It's been a while. I don't know if this is the one that has the NOAA station in the beginning. Let's see.
One.
Should be one. Should work. I thought they were programmed. Should have been programmed. Let's just go back to the channel. Yeah, probably the other one, the one over there on the floor. Because I had to do a reboot on them. Because they weren't, one of them wasn't working.
One. Channel mode.
There we go. Channel mode. Now we go 2.
2.
And then you'll go to channel 2. And wait for it. 3.
3.
Why aren't I getting anything? Probably because we're in the basement. Ah, there we go. See, I need to change the antenna to 4.
4.
5.
Cancel. 5.
I could just scroll through and see. So I used to be able to get
22.
no, nothing. That's so weird. Well, I used to get them down here.
1.
On my video I did.
20.
EMT. Might be the antenna. Let's switch the antenna. Let's switch it. Oh. No, I'm not getting anything.
1.
Let's see if 1 will work. 1 you should get NOAA. the weather, you know, national weather channel. Interesting. One's not working.
19, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See, it's not. We're in a bad spot. Sometimes it works down here. And then let me try channel. See, we should be hearing like the weather on a loop.
2, 3.
Interesting.
Channel mode. Frequency mode. Channel mode. Channel mode.
Let me try the other one. This might be the one that doesn't have everything. I had to like erase it and reboot it. Let's see. This one, the colors are really cool. I have 3 of these. I have and the white one, the 2 green are GMRS that convert into the ham, and then I have a dedicated ham radio. They sold it as a ham, and then you can convert it into a GMRS radio. It's like ass backwards, which is really weird. Because what happened was I bought the GMRS because I thought they were dedicated GMRS, and then I bought a ham, not knowing that the ham converts into the GMRS, and I felt duped because they don't tell you that, literally. But then I was like, how do I do a factory reset?
Welcome.
Let's see if channel 1 works here. See?
1.
It'll probably work outside. The charge holds pretty good on this one though. See, now I'm not getting anything. Yeah, I'm on the local weather frequency, but as you can see, you don't want to be down here when the apocalypse fund comes to find out if the air is clear because it's not working. I did it in my car and worked fine. It just doesn't work well in the basement. Some people like have antennas, like they drill a hole in their basement and then just run the wire. But as you can see, my local, it says off, but it should be working because
2. Frequency mode. Channel mode.
see,
1.
be nice if we can get the weather. Come on. Anyway, it works out there because there's I don't know, interference down here, but it's cool when it does. I like to listen to the airplanes. Anyway, now back to our show. That's so cool that Big Irv has his ham license, and that pretty sure was not easy. I just gauge the material every now and again because I do want to get it. Any radio can be used by a ham on a ham frequency. That's true. Ham radios can't be used outside of ham frequencies used as in TX or RX. That's so true. Yeah, because you need that. That's why you need to get your ham license, because then it doesn't matter what you use. You just have to know the frequency and then like the towers to, you know, like ping off. I forget what it's called when you get permission to use a tower. I got permission to use a tower, but it's like in frickin' Pennsylvania. There was nothing local in my town, so I would have had to like driven to the middle of nowhere and then pray that when I got there I could use their tower at the time, like it would be available, because I was like, wow, it's so cool, I can't wait to, you know, use the tower. And you know, it didn't work out because I didn't feel like, it was too cold, and I didn't feel like driving 80 miles just to use someone's tower. Cleared? Yeah, I got cleared. Took my test. Wow, he took his test in the 90s. That's so cool. Yeah, let me see. This one's negative. I'll tell you which tower I got permission to use. Because you have to, there's like, what's it called again to use the towers? It's been so long that I can't even remember what it's called, but I can log into the website. Hold on. Alexa, what's it called when you can use a ham radio tower?
It's called a repeater. When
Repeater.
You use a ham radio tower.
Yeah, that's
A
what it's
repeater
called.
acts as a relay
Repeater.
station, boosting your signal to cover greater distances.
Oh yeah, my GRS. Cool. And then here's also see what repeater I got permission to use. Full version of me. Samsung me. Yeah, because then you can talk to someone. And that's what the guys at the GMRS club were talking about. And you get points for, like, you know, like if you talk to someone in China, you talk to someone in Chicago. Like the goal is to, like, talk to as many. Oh wow, sign out. That means I'm logged in. See, I got permission to use. These are the repeaters near me, but let's see what repeater I got permission to use. Connect. And repeater near me. Shop messages. Let's see, maybe this one. Contact, maps, forum. Oh, access request. There we go. So I got permission. I got approved. Oh wow, I got approved for another one. Where is this guy? Oh, D&D tactical repeater. View. I got approval for that one. And then this one. This is probably the one in the middle of nowhere. This one's far. This is like in borderline New Jersey, Pennsylvania. It's all the way over here. When I'm near like Patterson, and this tower is like all the way down there, many miles away. And you know, I put it in, and I was gonna drive there, test it out, do a video on how to like, you know, use repeaters. But as you can see, they're really far. At least you know where they are. So when the apocalypse comes, you got to also know where their repeaters are. I wonder if there's a map where you can just download the map, and then you gotta be like Red Dawn, and like, yo, we need to make it like 20 clicks that way to the next repeater, so we can communicate to get milk. I don't know. But it's really cool. Deny requests. Approve requests. What did I get denied? I haven't been denied. I don't think people will deny you to use their repeater. I think it's like a, you know, just a rite of passage. They probably just want to know who's using their stuff. Do people ever get denied? I guess Big Earl could answer that question. Is the GMRS? I know what it is. I just don't have GMRS license. Grit yours. Yeah, I'll get mine. Authorized ham systems are 90s, open to public. No, 90%. Oh, sorry, open to public. Yeah. Are you on channel 1? I am on. I was on channel 1, Ken, but the thing is still on. But I forget what you're supposed to say. Oh man, I went too high. But that's okay. If we go too high, now we're going back to our soldering. It's hard to solder. See, that's why I start low and then go high. But I put the heat sinks on. So now, but that's good to know. Email me some tips. My email is in the contact information of this YouTube channel. So if you go to the YouTube channel, that's where all my stuff is. And it'd be really cool to get some more, because I'm just nibbling like away at my ham radio certification, because I come from a time when, you know, you just freaking use remember the CB radios, walkie-talkies. This was just plug and play. You didn't need permission to, although sometimes they'd be like, yo, who is this? You're not supposed to be on this frequency and channel. And then they'd be like, I will find you. And I'm like, yeah, right. Ha, you never find me, mister. Go fuck yourself. You know, I was that little kid on my little Star Trek walkie-talkie. Everybody have the Star Trek communicator? I had that growing up, the Star Trek walkie-talkie. And when my mom went to work one morning, she didn't want me using it. She took it away. They got it for me, and then they took it away because they didn't realize that it was picking up other frequencies. And then, like, there were people talking on it. It was kind of like today, kids with Roblox, you know, stranger danger. Well, that was on the walkie-talkie. And then she took it away because other frequencies were coming in. And so when she went to work, I like went into the room and looked in their closet, and I was like, aha, there's my Star Trek communicator. And I had a Captain Kirk shirt. And I actually have a picture of myself when I was little in my Captain Kirk shirt. And my brother was Spock. And my sister, I don't know what she was. She was probably, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Let me see if I can find it. If I can, let me see. I think it's in my Dropbox. If I can find my phone. Oh yeah, my phone's here. Where's my phone? You ever go crazy looking for your phone? Let's see if I can find it. Dropbox. And then I have, wow, it's been a while since I logged into my Dropbox. And nah, probably take me forever to find it. I'll find it. Give me a sec. Might be in the Lewis folder. It's been a while since I've used Dropbox. I have it on my other computer, and when I got this MacBook Pro a few years ago, I just left Dropbox the way it was on the other machine and then never went back to it again. I know it's in a folder. I don't even have any Lewis folders on here. Maybe if I go home. Home. Who am I logged in as though? Hold on one second. Which, oh no, that's my account. It's possible that let's try Lou. Yep, found it. Sweet, give me a second. Oh no, I don't have it though. That's not, but I have, I don't know. My sister didn't send it to me. I just have a picture of me when I was younger. The only thing that changed was my hair. Here, I'll show you. Hold on. But it was like one of the school pictures where you could wear anything you wanted. But hold on. No, it's not this one though. But there's another one of the three of us together, and I'm wearing my Star Trek shirt, but this one isn't it though. I'll probably have to ask her for it. Like, yo, can you send me the picture of me with the Star Trek shirt on? Here, let's see. Like, where's Lou? Hold on. One moment, please. Full version of me. Rotate. Portrait. Huh. Force portrait. That's weird. It's not. See? But it's not rotating the portrait. That's so weird. You should do force portrait. See? And then force right. No. Force landscape left. There it is. See, my hair used to be brown, and then somehow it became black. And then there we go. Remember the back in the day? Oh, you can't see. Remember back in the day where you had the backdrop for the school photos, and everyone had the same one? It's like so cheesy. It was my brother in his John Travolta shirt. Yeah, that was so cool back in the day. Those were the 80s. Yeah, and there is Reflector. Email sent. Big Irv, thank you. Big Irv sent me an email. Let's see what we got. Remember, it's a live show. So when we're live, sometimes we will deviate from the project at hand. But I have to go back into full version of me because Big Irv's email is private. Okay. Let's see. Proton Mail. Oh, and then Bob sent an email too. Bob sent us a 3D print. Sweet. Let's see what the model is. Oh wow, interesting. Yeah, it does take up the whole print bed. I don't even have to show him the preview. Alright, that was, oh yeah, you guys can't see that. Hold on. Because Bob wanted us to print something for him. And as you can see, this thing is huge. Because I'll print something for you if you want something printed, and people just pay for the shipping, you know. But that's just too big, and you can't scale it down because if you make it smaller, you can't fit the quarters or nickels and dimes. Because the only way you can scale money is if you're one of the other viewers who was here earlier, who actually melts U.S. currency and turns them into sculptures. Let's see what Big Irv sent us. Irv, nice to meet you too. Okay, great. Likewise, Irvin, yeah, just send us some ham radio stuff. That would be cool. Welcome to the channel. We're almost done with our kit. Let me just close out anything here in case we come back. That's so cool. And then if I get my ham radio license, we don't have to call you. We can just channel in. Just use a repeater. Right, and then we can talk to you. All right, so here we are here. So I was putting tape on here so that would hold it. Okay, negative is negative, and then hopefully we put them in their right hole. Otherwise you're screwed. Not really screwed, but it is hard to solder these out, to get them out once they're in. So should wake up. If it doesn't, you just press it. See? And hopefully we don't get a runaway thermal error. Sorry about distraction. No, this is great. This is a live show. So on the live show, people ask questions, people talk, we engage, we share stuff, you know, we deviate, we go off track. You know, it's like the late show. You know, this is your show, and I'm showing you guys how to build something, but we're kind of interacting at the same time, which is cool. You know, we now know that Big Irv has his ham radio. Big Irv can use my radio and every feature that comes with it, whereas I have it and I can only use one feature on it. Then we have Ken, who was here earlier. You know, so this is how the show operates. And usually Midnight Off-Road Runner's here, but he left. Not Midnight Off-Road Runner. Swedish Forge gives us prints. 3D prints of the week. He's been Ken. We did Ken a few weeks ago. So yeah, that's how the channel runs. So no, you're basically making the show engaging and fun. This is what we do on the live stream. And sometimes what we used to do, well, we still will, but it's called Saturday Night Live Q&A. I haven't done that one in a while, but I'm doing this now on Saturday, where we take all the comments, right? Any comment that was made in the comments, and we just turn that into a live Q&A. And so I will answer them occasionally live and then troubleshoot them. Like, because sometimes we get trolled. Trolling's fine because it's good for business because it just keeps us going. you know, like someone will ask a stupid question, or sometimes they'll ask real questions. But we troubleshoot it live, because to help people, because not everyone gets it on these videos. But we have Saturday Night Live Q&A, and then sometimes some of the guys would chime in, like Swedish Forge will chime in, Ken will chime in. Sometimes they'd be like confirming that it's a troll, but I just string them along, you know, it's fine. But not every time it's a troll, you know. So we have to sort of treat every question like it's a real question, no matter how mundane it might seem. We know you're not, because, you know, but you'll know if you come back again. Sometimes they're there. So now we got the diodes in. Now we're pretty much done. We just got to put in the you know, down. Oh well, got to be careful there not to break anything. See, this could go in a little bit more. I recommend putting the LEDs in one at a time, or you can do like this: hold the heat down, right? Hold the soldering iron down, and then as it heats up, push it in. As it heats up, push it down, so that you can get it in there. But you should be able to just tap it, and it should go in. Tap it, and it should go in. Just so it's like flush, and pushes down all the way. See, we got it. Don't apply too much heat. Don't camp out on your LEDs, because you will burn them out. They are hard to get out, but like if you put it in wrong, put the negative and the positive, and watch your eyes, because you don't want a piece of metal to go flying in your eye. See, and then we got that, and that's it, almost it. Now we just have to put the Tessla coil in. Tessla coil is a little tricky. Oh yeah, we can always copy the other one. Where is the other one? I had it here a second ago. And now we need to get these wires ready. Oh, there it is. No, that's not it, because the original one has the red wire. Oh, it's right in front of me. I'm just tired. Been up since 6 this morning. All right, so as you can see, let's put the bottom on first. These things. We're almost done. These little stand plates. Where are you located, Big Irv? Where is Big Irv? We're in New Jersey, from New York City. That's so weird that I had my ham radio turned on and I wasn't getting anything down here. It must be cloudy. Usually I do. Usually I can turn on and tune in, but not tonight. Seeing these go like this on here. Now it'll stand up. It would be really cool if you can talk to someone. I'd have to use someone's repeater or to talk to Irv, you know, and then finally we can meet. So anyway, back to my Star Trek communicator. So my parents took it away because it was picking up police frequencies and other frequencies, and they're like, no, you can't have that. It's not supposed to be listening to other people. It's supposed to be a walkie-talkie. But back in the day, apparently they couldn't lock the frequencies, you know. And when they went away, you know, that was during the summer. We didn't go to camp full time, and so I snuck into the room, and I took the walkie-talkies. And then as soon as I turned it on, I heard someone, like I think it was like CB radio or something, some police communications, and I started chiming in. They're like, yo, who is this? And I was like, you. They're like, yo, you're not supposed to be on this, you know, like channel or frequency or something like that. I was like, you, I know you. I'm at the corner of 36 and Coney Island Avenue. Like, who is this? I said, go to the corner, you know, and they're like, they got mad because they get mad when you mess with their channels. That's like, I don't know, it's like equivalent to like white collar crime, you know, like it's like, don't mess with my frequency. And then I kept doing it, and somehow they found me. I don't know how. They were able to triangulate something. Oh yeah, I think that they found me one time when I messed around with the caller ID. This was before caller ID, and I would call the operator, and I'd be like, "Hello, operator, how are you?" And then just like hang up and be like, "Ha ha ha." And then one time she called back, and she's like, "Is your mother home?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, how'd she get our number?" She's just an operator. And I was like, when I said, Mel, I called my sister over. Yo, you gotta pretend you're mom, because now we're in trouble for playing on the phone. And then she was like, hello, hi, this is Mrs. It's like, no, and she knew. It's like, no, I want to talk to your mother. And then she kept calling the phone back until one of our parents picked up. And then she waited. This was because during the school time, you know, summertime, she couldn't get a hold of the parents. So she knew. She kept calling, and then she realized, like, after 3 or 4 o'clock that no parent was coming to the phone. So then at like 8 o'clock at night, the phone rings. And I'm like, oh shit, we're in trouble now. Because that's probably a smooth operator. She's so smooth. She got our number. She waited for parents to come home so that could teach you a lesson, get a whipping from not playing on the phone. All right, so this part right here, so it all started off with the Star Trek communicator. The longest part you want to be on the top, and again, you could take the tape off, but if you do, make sure you put some back on, otherwise you're gonna burn yourself. So this part's the longest part. Okay. This part we can just solder in, but what you want to do is take the double-sided take off. Oh, the days of listening to cordless phones. Oh yeah, that's so true. And cell phones, analog cell phones, McDonald drive-through. Yeah, that is so true. I remember that. When cordless phones first came out, apparently that frequency was more fucked up than the Star Trek radio communicator. You'd be talking on your new phone because you were cordless now, and then you'd pick up other people's conversations. I was like, what? So you could just pick up your phone and just have fun listening to other people talking, which was so cool. I was like, oh my god. Or not just listening to them talk, you could sometimes, if it was so fucked up, you could just start talking and be like, yo, what's up? You're right, I totally agree with you, you know, like it was something like that. And then they'd be like, who is this? Who's on the phone? And like, it's me. Like, me who? It's me. Don't you remember? And yeah, stuff like that. And that would drive people crazy. Like, get off the phone. Get off, I'm on the phone. You know, like that. And this was like, it would just be picking up other frequencies from other, you know, other people. All right, so this part's a little bit tricky. I remember those. That was fun. I remember the McDonald drive-through. I don't know. I don't know that one. I do know the one before caller ID. Like if you lived in a neighborhood and you, let's say there was a building across the street, you would call like the local diner and make like a prank call and be like, hi, we'd like the 2 cheeseburgers, a side order of fries, a Coke, and like a salad or whatever, and a hero. And this is our address. And then we give it to the place across the street, that address, and just coiling the wire. I coiled it backwards. And then we wait for the delivery guy to show up. And then we get a call back. Of course, we would call from like a different phone. There was like a pay phone, and the pay phone would ring again and be like, hi, the delivery guy can't find the place. I'm like, oh, we were just here, so sorry. you know, we just went to the bathroom, and then the delivery guy would come back, and then we'd see him go to deliver again, and then we'd start, you know, this is kid stuff. This is like we were in 6th grade, just having fun, and then we just kept doing that like 3 or 4 times, and then they finally realized it was a prank phone call. But now you can't do that. Now you got caller ID. Caller ID, they will pull a Nima Nelson on you. They'd be like, I will find you. I have really specific set of skills. So you only need 3 on here because you want to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, those were the days when we would go dumpster diving. Any of you guys ever go dumpster diving? That was fun back in the day. Just looking for shit, you know, like. But some of the stuff people threw out was really cool. All right, so now this is like this, right? See, it should look like that. See, lower, and then coiling upwards instead of downwards. Just coil it up, and then this one will go. Well, you'll see. Go like this. Put this. We have to strip the wire first, though. Hold on. Yeah, those were the good old days. It's so wild. But I know nothing about the McDonald's drive-through. I would ride my bicycle through the drive. I remember back in the I love cycling. You'll see some more cycling videos coming up as the weather warms up. But I remember when it was forbidden to ride your bicycle through the drive-through. They didn't even want that. Now it's okay. Now they're okay with it. Now I have a video I did with the Garmin, one of the lights someone sent me, and I went through the drive-through, and it was so cool. But back in the day, they wouldn't even serve you. They wouldn't even turn on their communicator, whatever they're called at the drive-through, if you were on a bicycle. Now I love it because now I can, if I'm hungry on a long bike ride and there's a McDonald's, I love McDonald's French fries. You know, I can go through the drive-through. And back in the day, you couldn't. Now you can. So you could tin the wires. I recommend that. It's a must for the full experience. Make sure your soldering iron heats up. Nice. See, it works when it works. When it don't work, it don't work. Now I just need some tin. Can move this out of the way, and then. Oh wow, interesting. It's still heating up, but this doesn't really need to be tinned, to be honest with you. This is like solid wire, but we're going to tin it anyway. If it gets hot enough. See? So that's tinned. And then this, whoa, don't burn yourself. And then this is tinned. Oh, and fireworks. Fireworks were the best. We used to go into the city, into Chinatown, to get fireworks. You'd go into someone's apartment. It was the go-to place, and then they had like tons of fireworks in their flat. Good luck with that today. All right, so now we have this here. The longest part is the top part. Looks like this part is longer. Some of them come short, believe it or not. And then what you want to do is, before you solder on the coil ends, only one end gets soldered. Just scrape the top part. Honestly, you don't really have to scrape it, because if you touch it with your fingers, you will burn. Yeah, let's do that. But we're not going to touch it with our fingers. If you touch it with something wet, it'll burn the paint off too. They don't tell you that because they just say don't touch it because it's really hot. Anyway, so find the shortest part, and then that'll be the bottom. Look like they're both the same length, to be honest with you, which is really interesting. Alright, so now one part. So what we need to do is take the tape off here. If you messed it up and it doesn't stick anymore, you could use double-sided tape adhesive, and it'll work just as good. But you want to make sure that when this is done, we can somehow, sweet. Once that comes off, see this? That right there? Just pull it out and then put it on like that. Now remember, don't take the tape off, otherwise you're going to burn yourself. And you can activate the Tessla coil by just touching the tip, so you'll be okay. Even though this one looks a little bit, this is both the same length. I should have measured them. Let's flip it over. You can still pull it off because look underneath. It's like that. Yeah, I like this part better. This part looks shorter. Take the shortest one and then put the shorter one on one side. Then, right, you're going to bend one wire and then put it in the hole, and then it's hard putting it in the hole. Sweet, I got it in. Then just bend it over. See, so it looks like a little loop, right? And then now we can grab our soldering iron and cover that hole. And then we should be good to go. Then we'll activate it. I'll show you what I mean by activating it. But remember, this has to get hot. Sorry, phone shut down. I'm back. That's fine. Oh wow, he's on his phone. That's cool. That's nice that we're on the phone. What model is that? Are we in? Oh nice. So we're in portrait mode. That's so cool. Which means thermal runway 6 excuse me 7 something. See how it just dropped? Like 1 minute it melted, next minute it didn't. What's the intended use of the Tessla coil? It's the kit. Well, it only cost about $6. I'll explain to you what we're doing here. We also help people build drones on this channel. We have a beginner's guide tutorial on how to build your drone. So it costs like $300-400, maybe even $600, depending on what parts you get. Now, a lot of new guys buy all the stuff and they wind up doing this with their drone. And they're like, yay, I'm gonna build my drone. And the next thing you know, whoa, you blow it up. And now you're like $300 out. That was an expensive video. One of our viewers / subs showed us what to do so that doesn't happen again. And the flight controller alone, the chip, is about $80 depending on which one you get, or some $30 or $40. And these kits, a little kit like this, $6. I forget what it cost on Amazon. The link's in the description. Now the goal is to level up your soldering skills so you're that more confident, so you don't blow your shit up. And so let's say if we go to me stuff, hold on 1 second, because honestly I don't remember what it cost. This Tesla kit costs, if the price is right, $9. So $9, right, versus $300 to $400. See, $9 for this kit. If you can't see, if you're in Instagram mode, so it costs you $9. Someone like Bob, who's on the channel, already has his own soldering iron and kit lying around, and maybe wants to build his drone. So you get to build a Tessla coil, have fun on a real-time project before you accidentally blow your shit up and build your drone. Then, you know, you just, all you have to do is work on pit tuning it. And at the end of the day, you will have something fun lying around the house, right? Should work now. And level up your skills. And then, because the thing is, when you go into FPV droning, there's no care refresh. When the drone crashes, you built it, you gotta, oh no, we're not done yet. You gotta fix it. We still have to do the wire, which converts everything over. So, you know, you have to fix it. Where's the... Oh, it's all down there. Okay, I'll get it in a second. So that's why we do these soldering tutorials. We have a build your own drone series, which will help you build your drone from scratch, from the motors to the flight controller configuration. So next week, our last build of the year, whenever we do these videos, is a radio. So we're going to be doing an FM AM radio. And if you make it as far as the radio, then you pretty much can follow along with the next video, and then you will be able to be part of the Build Your Own Drone series. But our next Build Our Own Drone series, I think we're going to do a Frankenstein, which is take the chip from one of the other drones, and one of our chips broke and we had to hack it to get in because the USB connector thingy was broken. So we're going to build a drone a little bit differently on our next future soldering videos. Now that we got that, let's go back. Stuff only, and then we do like product reviews. People send us stuff. I have a lot of videos I have to make products for the stuff that they sent us. We do collaborations, so people will send us stuff just because, you know, they want your reach, which is fine. But I really, next week also, sometimes you'll see videos come out, you're like, wow, what's that, that's cool, or sometimes you'll be like, wow, that's weird, you know. So it all depends. And it's something, if I have trouble with something like in my house that's broken and I'm like, oh, I can fix that, I'll make a video for it. Like, so there was a recent video that went up for my leaf blower, which was broken, stuff like that. So you'll see a lot of that on the channel too, because I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has that leaf blower and was in the same predicament, you know. Yay, we got one. And then we'll get the other one. That one's the bottom one. And then this one. You can fix the coiling later once you get your wire in there. Just be careful, don't touch the plastic, because that will mess it up. Because remember, it's coated with plastic. I have to scroll back up to see your chats because I wasn't sure if you saw the video. Did you see the video that was shown earlier of the new channel intro? And then now, I could use a little more solder. Yay. Now it should work. Alright, so now we'll clean off the tip, Plug it in and activate it. The activator. I remember people used to put that stuff in their hair in the 80s. The activator. I wasn't into activator. I did use mousse, I think it was. Or if you couldn't afford it, you put right guard in your hair. Or something like that. Alright, so now we'll figure out the coil part later, because sometimes the coil needs some tweaking by turning it a little bit, but it should work. It should create that electric magnetic field so we can light the light bulb and illuminate the way. Ha ha ha. And rule the world. Hold on one sec. Let's see. Here's our power source or sauce. And then we'll turn it on. I'm going to do 24 because 24 is great because we get full power. And then plug this in. We'll move our solder out of the way. You never know. Sometimes stuff blows up on the channel too. So not every experience is guaranteed. But we make these videos so you don't have to. Alright, let's see. I'm Axe hair gel. I didn't even know Axe made hair gel. I remember the old Axe commercials. They were pretty cool. I remember that. Let's see. Oh, it looks pretty cool that way. Yeah, I remember the old Axe commercials. Axe hair gel. It's so funny. Yeah, that was a big thing in the 80s. Gel. Everyone had to have their hair a certain way. My sister was crazy though. She was like, she would be crying in the bathroom. And I'd be like, it's only hair. She's like, shut up. I'm like crying because her hair was not. Alright, so now to activate the coil, see how this light's not blue? Sometimes you gotta play. See, now I can touch this. If I took the tape off, I couldn't. But if we take something wet, don't touch it with your fingers. It should burn it. See, it's not burning it. But we saw a little bit a second ago, which is fine. And one of them, let's see if we can get it. Is that right, even? I said, yeah, yeah, no, that's right. And it did light up a second ago. Sometimes you gotta check the parts. Maybe this isn't in. Plug it in. We'll bring this down a little bit to create that force field. Because you saw, if you scrub back a little, it did light up for like a second. The blue one, ow! Something's working. I got burnt. And you want to make sure the coil doesn't touch. Your hands might activate it. As you can see, it's not working. I feel it getting hot though. And you want to make sure this isn't touching. And if it's not working, it could be, we'll check for continuity on the wiring. Everything looks correct, and it's not working because one of them, see, this one's not getting hot. Who's that? Buzz. Hey, what's up, Ken? Ken's still here. Yeah, what did Ken do with his hair? How was your hair experience growing up, Ken? It's getting hot. Ow. Which is a good sign. Why it's not getting hotter? I see the light illuminating. It should have like lit up already. We can plug it out, right? And then check our connections, make sure nothing is bridged. Our power source is there. Maybe add some more solder to, that's a fan wire though, it shouldn't make a difference. Double check your your transistors, make sure they're in the correct spot. And ow, of course that's hot, which is a good sign. Hot is good. Oh, but you know what? Ow! You know what's so? Oops! Don't break your stuff. You know what's really cool from the '80s that's coming out? The new He-Man movie. Anybody see the trailer for the new He-Man movie? It looks amazing. Like it's anybody see the new He-Man trailer? Let's see. Turn this on. Ken said he had long hair down to his waist. That's pretty wild. That's long hair, man. Nah, I wasn't into long hair. My sister would have loved it, but for me, I was more into having short hair. I hated my hair if it was too long. It drove me crazy. Yeah, the other LED isn't lighting up. All the parts are correct. I don't know. Check the bottom. You could, like, so what I'm doing right now, I shouldn't be able to do. That's how hot it gets, but you can tell that this LED light isn't lighting up. And we're at the correct voltage. It did light up for like a second. Sometimes if you twist this correctly, right? And it has the right amount. And then you want to make sure that the wire does not touch the transistors, otherwise it'll just burn. It'll burn the cabling, and then you're pretty much. But it did for a second. If you scroll back and look, it lit up for like the blue wire, which means that you'd either short it out. You can always test it though by cutting the power off. Let's see, that goes there. I'm gonna try something. I still have it here 40 years later. Ken does have a lot of hair, but it's not long though. Nah. Yeah, back then you could have long hair and no one questioned your pronouns because you were still He-Man. Now forget about it. Now you're... Oh yeah, that's true. That's like the first pronouns was He-Man. It was a cartoon. See, everything's correct. The only thing I can think of is that maybe scrape the bottom like of the other wire that all the parts are in. You can't put resistors in wrong because either way, left or right, it's always going to be the same. But let's try something else. The only thing, the LEDs we put in correctly. That's a must. But it still isn't working. We make these videos so you don't have to. Let's see. Turn the power source on. Let's start with 12 volts and see what that does. See, the Tessla coil is not working. I'm Puerto Rican. Seeing cultural differences was a cool experience. Cool, me too. Except I don't speak Spanish. Damn, this sucks. I don't know. See, what, you shouldn't be able to touch this. That's how hot this gets. Unless we have to activate it by scraping off. We're going to try some. And then, nope, nada. Which means, let's check for continuity though. I want to check and see. I need to see. Where's my meter? Ah, it's over there. Alright. We should be able to hate when this happens. It's probably the black. Honestly, I think it's the black wire, or I don't know. It's one of two things, but it just sucks it. All right, so if we go here, continuity is you should do this. Unplug it, then strip. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Just strip it off, which is what. But I'm gonna have to unsolder it to strip it. But I want to test something else though. I want to see if between here, this part, right, and that one, if it measures continuity between there. Nope. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. See? And so we know that that's connected. Which is good. Not really. A little bit of a delay, but it's still measuring. All right, so let's try between here, right, and the top wire. I might have to strip it, like you said. Thought I did, and I flipped it over. Nope. All right. Should be, so we need to strip it. I thought my fingers, you know, like scraping it, my finger getting hot would activate it, but the only way to activate it is to strip it. All right, that's fine. All right, let's see. Now the hardest part is getting that angle, right? And then, you know what? We can strip it with our Tesla lighter. Couldn't get a Tesla car, but I got the Tesla lighter. This is called the Tesla lighter. At least that's how they branded it as. So let's see. See? Instead of scraping it off, just burn it off. All right, and then I might have to do the same thing with the other half, which means I have to desolder it. Hopefully not. I love that new song. I can't get it out of my mind. We'll start with 12. No need to leave it at full power. Is it blue? Nope, no blue. Blue, 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 blue. So now, what we got to do is, what is that? That coil may have resistance and not ohmed out, is when you hear the beep. Yeah, that's true. No, but there's continuity. We're measuring, we're testing for continuity. I didn't actually see if there was measurements though. But as long as it connects, which it doesn't look like it did. So let's do that part's fine. What we're gonna do is, I don't know if this will work. Nah, I don't think so. I was gonna say, yeah, gotta wait for it to heat up, unfortunately. So plug it out, plug it in, wake it up, and the numbers should go up. Once it gets to 7, so this is sometimes it heats up fast, and other times it don't. Like, I hate when that happens. That ever happened to your soldering iron? 1 minute it works, next minute it don't. $560. We need 700. Come on, you got this, little guy. You're taking too freaking long. 627. I could take a nap. Oh wow. Interesting. So that's what happened when they fell. 690. 699. 700. Excuse me. What did he say? My iron is school. Oh. And my iron sucks, actually. I hate this. I like it because it's small and portable, so that if you crash your drone, you can fix it on the fly. Great, got that out. Let's do it again. Alright, so now, instead of scraping it, you can burn it off. And there. Yay! That sump pump's going off. You don't want to do it too much though, because then it won't, you know, like it'll break it, because it's like a copper. Just want to get that. Sweet. And then hopefully it'll work. If not, that's okay. We will get it to work. Just want to get that lined up. It's like the speaker. I'm going to put more solder on there. Nice, chill. Yeah, great having you. 73. Mine is 74. 74. Yeah, so a lot of cool stuff happened in the 80s. Ken can tell you. Because Ken's from my old neighborhood too. New York City. This is the hardest part, getting this wire in there. Sweet. Might have to do the same thing with the other one. Hopefully it works, but... Oh, you know what I miss that you can't do today? Good comedy. Remember Mad TV? They were like... They were bald. Like, first it was a living color, which was good, right? You know, you had Jim Carrey, but then Mad TV came out. Mad TV was like, no limits, no politically correct. You know, they didn't worry about being censorship. Yeah, I loved the Mad TV. And Stewart was funny. Look what I could do. And then Mrs. Chan, what was it, Mrs. Chan? He looking like a man. No, you're like, well, can you just give us a description of what he was? You know, like, who came in and robbed your store? A man. You know, you can't do that today. You can't say looking like a man because some people might get triggered. Don't you know my pronouns? Yeah. Ken Ninja. Oh yeah, that's so funny. Back in the 80s, everyone wanted to be a ninja. You got your Chinese slippers. People bought ninja stars. And, you know, no one got killed. But we had, I remember the ninja stars. Did you have a ninja star? I had a ninja star and the Chinese slippers. You know, and there was like, everyone wanted to be like a Chuck Norris movie. Yay, it worked. Good call. Big Earl, not Big Earl, Big Irv, thank you for the tip. We scraped it correctly, and that allowed us to make the connection so that it would work, so that if we measured it from top to bottom, we would get continuity. I don't know why I think I scraped it, but then I just thought that I flipped it over wrong. I think I put top bottom instead of bottom top, but I did scrape it. Maybe I only scraped one. So now if we touch one here and we touch down there, should get a beep because we peeled it off, took off the stuff. Da, 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 da. Anyway, is it on? Yeah, it is on. It should do like that. But it's not. But that's okay, it still works. Now we plug it in, right? And then find the power source. Don't touch it because it's hot. Meaning these things will activate it in a second. It would shut off. Hold on. Yeah, the power shut off. That's a good safety feature though. For the power supply, I'll put it at the max at 24, and then watch your fingers. Touch it now before the power runs through it. Otherwise, you'll burn yourself. See, we got both. So you see, we don't see the little plasma thingy. If we touch this with our fingers, it will burn. But see, activate it like that. Or you could activate it by touching it with a piece of metal. It doesn't have to be a sponge, but anything moist will burn, and then you will we can make it a little bit bigger. See, and then, which is cool, except music, because you can hear music from here. I had it somewhere around here. like a little connector thingy that goes to your headphones, but I have a radio that we built. Thank you for the tip, Big Irv, because your tip helped me with my tip on the end to activate things here so we can get that blue light back on. See, just when you think you know everything, it turns out you know nothing, and you have viewers like you that help make a difference. To remind me of what I needed to do. Sometimes you forget. So yeah, I need to find a radio. I have a radio in here because it doesn't come with the regular adapter. Let me just put this away. That allows you to plug it into your phone. You can, but it doesn't work anyway. So at least mine doesn't. So we have this here, right? Just remember it's active. Oh yeah, let's do this first. Let's test the bulb. See? Sweet. Kind of neat, huh? Wax on. See? Sweet. So we know it works. And then now, I just wish oh yeah, it's over there. Okay. This thing. So you can convert your phone. I wonder if it will work. Hold on. Into the jack. So this plugs into here. They're both the same side. They're both, and then this would plug into here. Then you get your phone, if you can find it. And then hold this and open up your phone. And then for me, I'm going to open up Pandora. Oh, you can't see if you're on. Oh, they say not to put your electronics close to it. See, I almost short-circuited my phone. And you can hear the music from there. But this thing, no, that's not it. Ennio Morricone. He's a big popular 80s guy. He did all the Western movies, right? The music for all those movie soundtracks. A lot of good things. And now you'll have AI. AI will make... I'll get another radio that we built because this isn't going to work. So we're going to plug this into the radio. Hopefully the batteries are not dead. And then we'll test out the other Tessla coil. We might have to take it apart to put tape on it. Oh, here's the radio. See, and this radio only cost I think it was like $20. So you see, before you level up to build your drone, you will have built a radio, a Tessla coil, and a calculator. If the radio don't work, just means that the batteries are dead, which sucks. You can tell they're dead from here, or your resistors. So if the radio doesn't work, resistors suck, or they give you the wrong ones, or your batteries are dead. And these batteries don't do justice, to be honest with you. So let me go get another one. Hopefully I have batteries that are charged, and then we can... Sweet. And now we'll move this over. Remember, it's hot. You'll burn yourself if you touch the coil. That's why they have tape around it. And now, see? Yay! Oh, but you know you're old and Puerto Rican when you start playing with radios. It's official. You're an old man now. Hey, Puerto Rico, get busy. Oh, wait. Except it might have some interference with the Tessla coil. Let it find the station. Now the only downside is that the radio works better. It's like my kid's radio. It works better. This thing right here. The antenna, the headphone cord works as an antenna. So you get better reception. Hopefully when I plug it in, we should get better reception and hear something. 106.7 Light FM, it's Delilah. And you can hear it through the Tessla coil. And if I plug it out, see? So that's pretty cool. Except, I'll let you hear the radio from here. Hold on. I'll turn it off. So the radio will play through the Tessla coil, but what's really cool is this part right here. You'll see what I mean, because this is what we're going to build next week. Another one of these. And then an FM AM. I can just get these cables correct. So I'll plug this in. And then oh, I should put it in pro mode. Otherwise you're going to think the shit's glitching out. Pro just changes the camera shutter speed so that you can see what's, you know, better. While I'm trying to change the station. Letting it search for one. But see? Tessla coils in there. But what's your favorite radio station? 107.5 WBOS. That's right. So, you know, that's what we're going to build next, a radio. And the best part is that the newer radio, they eliminated the resistors that were kept, and they put a chip in there, which works better. So the resistance experience is no longer there, which is a pain in the butt. And you know, they sometimes didn't send you the right resistors, and you had to find your own. You know, get your own resistors. I'll show you how to get your own resistors. A little book like this on here. and it has different resistors in it, and you would find them. That's junk now, because now they, you know, they change the process on how it's done. Anyway, Tessla Coil works, which is phenomenal. Stuff only, as you can see, which is great. You're now ready to level up for our next soldering tutorial. I still have a lot of recordings to do next week, but this is great that this works. Sometimes thanks for your help. Big Irv led us through the process. Probably would have taken something else apart instead of scraping it off. And then finally, I'll plug this out so it doesn't burn out. That is really cool though. And then full version of me. Put this back. See, the cleanup on this one isn't so bad. There is the other coil that we have to put tape around, but they both work. And put this back here like that. It'd be nice if the antenna actually stood. Who knows, maybe the newer version, the antenna is different and they actually got it to work the way it's supposed to. But hopefully when we put tape around the other one, it just works the way it's supposed to. We'll just use the sponge, clean this off. Dry decks. I will send you the tracking number in the morning so you have it. But yes, it's upstairs. I'm not sure if I'm surprised you didn't get it. Probably, but yes, you will have it in a bit, in a couple hours. So this is done. Put that over here for now. Soldering iron is still there. This works because we tried it in the beginning. And put this here. So now I just need a piece of tape. See, with this, what we have to do is, oh wow, carefully pull this off, right? And after we pull it off, make sure the coils are the way they're supposed to, right? And tight. Just twist them. Hopefully. It might have. That's why you can't take the tape off. But that's okay. Should still work. Or just leave it as is. So we take some tape. But you can't see. Let's try. That should do the trick. Maybe. Now you should be able to touch it. It may work, it may not work, because this one might be ruined. That's why you can't take. I was experimenting with this one. I wanted to take the tape off, and I was like, wow, that's it. But if you do take the tape off, like I did on some of the other ones, just trim it at the top, you know, and then you're fine. And then now, it should be all right. Because if you touch it, it's really hot, and you can just short it out, and then it won't work anymore. But thankfully, we've got many different versions of the Tessla coil. And hopefully it doesn't short out. See? It still works. Now, if we take the bulb... Oh, shit! Whoops. Nope, we shorted it out. See, you can't have the wires touch the coil. Almost. Hopefully the smoke detectors don't go off. If the wires touch the coil, they will short out. But we caught it in time, so hopefully it didn't mess up the experience. If it did, that's okay. We make these videos so you don't have to. So now, yeah, it's still working. Sort of. It's like, because we got the blue light, which means, so remember, make sure the wire is not touching the coil, any part of it. And then we should get an activate. Yes, it still works. Cool. But we almost turned to, oh wow, holy shit. There's like so much electromagnetic field being emitted from here to there that it lit up that bulb right over here. That is insane. Hold on a sec. Oh my god, that is insane. Look at that, the distance. How far will the electromagnetic field? Almost 12 inches. That means I'm here. Am I being exposed to like cancer? Wow, look at that. You see that? That is so cool. That means that's at 24 volts though. So it still works. We almost shorted it out. But now you can touch it. Oh wow, look, my body works as an interference. I smell something burning though. Oh, let's try and activate it again. Just check it, make sure it's not touching. Look at that. That's so cool, and the energy is being diverted. That could be why they changed the wire. That means, you know, don't touch it with this down below, but that is pretty wild. That means I'm getting some of that electromagnetic field too. I'm being supercharged. I'm gonna be like Electroman. They call me Electro. Remember that was another thing with the 80s. All these weird movies where, you know, people got exposed to different things and got these superpowers. Wouldn't be an 80s movie without the albino trans guy. It was always like some albino, right? Like the albino was the bad guy. Lethal Weapon, Blade Runner, and some other, you know, weird movies. Except Flash Gordon. He was the good guy. He was some... I think that's it. We are done. We did it. Built the Tessla coil, put the tape back on the other, almost blew one up. But you got to make sure that nothing touches. This one will just be for experimental purposes, but we do know it works. We make the magic happen. We make these videos so you don't have to. Now we can take that off, put my glasses back on. I did not realize that the electromagnetic field would extend itself that much, which is really interesting and scary at the same time. Kind of makes you wonder what I've been exposing myself to all this time. You'll find out, because I will be the next Electroman. This is like, ever see Raising Dion? And then there's a new one, Mr. Marvel. It's like Raising Dion when he's older. I don't know if anyone's seen Mr. Marvel or whatever it's called. There's like a new Marvel series. Kind of reminded me of Luke Cage without the Luke Cage experience. And that is it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. We're done. I'm just cleaning up, and I will end this video with our favorite song created by Swedish Forge. Thank you, Swedish Forge, for making this ending possible. Hope this video helped you, and thanks for your help, Big Irv. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave. Oh, he's going to bed anyway. Leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. That's how I learned or got started. That's so cool. So Big Herb is real novice soldering person, which is great. Nice to have someone on the channel. Just scrolling up at the comments, reading them. I should have read them, but it's all in the lyrics of our latest song. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you all next time. Bob did check the print. I did. Oh, the print. It's too big. It's not going to fit. Here, I'll show you though, and then we'll end the show. I love that new song. It's the coin tray. Bob coined an idea. Good idea, Bob. But too big. Muy grande. Muy grandes. Muy te queda muy chiquito. See? And it doesn't pay. Like, I honestly, something like that I could print, but it's better to buy it on Amazon. It probably costs $5 or $6 with Prime and free shipping, whereas with me it's going to cost you 10 to 15. Really cool though. I wonder if it needs supports to print. Let's slice it. No, because it probably prints at an angle. Yeah, that's really interesting though. But yeah, and what's that for? What are you, like, running a speakeasy in your basement? Like, what is this, for the coins, for the dealer, right? The dealer, whoops, the dealer keeps the cash in hand, and like playing poker, Friday night poker. This house used to be a like a speakeasy. There was like a whole bar and kitchen downstairs. Let me see if I can give you the tour of how it used to look. Yeah, it's too big. I'll give you the tour next time. I have to find the video. There was a bar, a kitchen, a safe in the back. Apparently there's like the poker house back in the day. Let's see if I can find basement. Oh, maybe this one's it. Oh yeah, here it is. Look, so there was a bar and there were taps there too. I don't know if you could see the taps. Let's see. And there was like a safe in there. So hey there, people would come here to gamble back in the day. So maybe you can forward this to your guy that does basements. And so I'll just lower that. So yeah, they had the whole kitchen back there. These taps, there were a couple other taps on there too, but someone took them. They stole them when I had someone come. And then, you see, they had the whole liquor. That's where the good stuff was kept. And then that's where, this was the basement. That's the other side of the basement. Looked like the backdrop to the movie Saw. Like you'd wake up, hello Dave, I noticed you've been really bad. Well, the object of this game is to figure out how to get out of the basement. And then there was like a shower in there, which is now the bathroom. Some of you guys have seen it. It had potential, you know. I just wish I had made videos of it. That the safe was on the other side. You know, like videos of like the process, because that would have been so cool to see. I wonder if I have the, oh yeah, and then after, see? Before, like, because then I probably have like many more subscribers. See? And change. It's still a work in progress. We chip away at it, do a little at a time. But by the time that time comes, I'll be like 80 years old. It never ends, to be honest with you. Never. But it's so wild. Yeah, this house had like a bar. People were gambling. Who knows what else they were doing, what else the rooms were used for. But you know, it is what it is. And that's it. And now I smell something burn. Oh, that was this that was burning. I'm glad the smoke detectors didn't go off. But just have to be careful. Don't worry, Ken, you're not getting that one. yeah, that's it. Now we're just gonna go back to the end of our intro.
My name's How to Buy Lou, that's what they call me online. Everything that glitches, yeah, that channel's mine. Got filaments spinning in the middle of the night. Multicolor magic in the printer's light. Lego on the floor and slippers on my feet. In my little basement where the air hums to the beat. Alexa turns the lights off when I say goodnight, but I'm still wide awake.
That's not the intro. I want to try this on 5, 2, 1, 5. I want to see if the audio went off. We had an issue last week where we were live streaming and the audio went off. And I was like, no. But Bob, don't worry about that. That print, I don't even know how much it will cost to print. I'd have to go to the post office. Let me put my headphones on. Oh, nice. Nice. All right, and that's it. Hey, we're just closing out the show. Noah C.W. Kalinsky. All right, and here we go. There we go.
My name's How to Buy Lou, that's what they call me online. Everything that glitches, yeah, that channel's mine. Got filaments spinning in the middle of the night. Multicolor magic in the printer's light. Lego on the floor and slippers on my feet. In my little basement where the air hums to the beat. Alexa turns the lights off when I say goodnight, but I'm still wide awake watching layers stack just right. Layer by layer, watch it come alive. Plastic dreams keeping this country boy high. Hear that motor singing like a late night bar in a basement room. I'm a backyard star. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Basement stage, but I'm dreaming big and far. Blue plaid nightshirt, sweatpants, guitar. Yeah, I'm building my fame from a filament jar. Market gas, Swedish forge, front row every night. Glowing in the comments like a neon light. On YouTube, we're riding the stream. Small town channel, big time dream. I'm How to Buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Printer running hot at full speed every day. Multicolor layers stacking my way. Lego scattered on the ground. Country boy tech with a plastic sound. When I'm not printing, I'm flying my drone up in the sky where I feel at home. I'm a drone nerd, yeah, I roam around, buzzing through the fields with that freedom sound. Ventilation blowing straight into my mic. Can't read the chat, but I'm feeling alright. Maybe someday I'll slow it down. Catch every comment from this little town. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Living that basement boulevard. Market guy and Swedish forge in the dark. Lighting up the stream like a neon bar. Subscribing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit that button, keep the dream alive. I'm How to Buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Yeah, I know I miss a comment line. Scrolling too fast, but I'm trying to shine. From America to wherever you are, we're building this channel like a brand new car. Filament dreams and a drone in the sky. Basement king and I don't know why, but every single stream feels right. Clap your hands if you love 3D. Clap your hands if you're nerd like me. Slippers on and a printer hum. Basement life, but we're number one. Hey, hey, yeah, we're number one.